Lost in the Script, episode 75, The Black Man's Problem.
You had to wait for the damn thing so you know the damn title. What up, y'all? What up? Good. Another, I don't want to say, was it a good week or another typical week?
Another typical week of bullshit.
Bullshit happened, but it happens every week at this point. Every day at this point.
People retracting statements and making lawsuits, prejudice.
Scandals came. And certain things happened that we thought was just going to be a blip. And it turned into headline news for no reason, as far as I know. You know.
Well, headline news is the reason why he got in trouble.
Headline news get you in trouble, boy. Yes, a couple things that we got. Last night we went over some of these articles, and I had a ball with some of these articles. It was funny. I was reading some of these things.
He can't wait to.
I'm trying to see. This is the part. This is the crazy part. We could either find interesting headlines, bring them in, and just go through them live for the first time, and the reactions would be hilarious because
that's what I personally like to do.
Or we can actually do research on some of this stuff, which we on and off do, and be informed. I'm pretty sure you could tell the stuff we're informed on.
And what we give our opinion on.
Yeah, and stuff we just give our opinion on from what we know already. Some of these things, obviously, we go further into because we know more about it. I would think the things we go deeper into are the things that are more important to us, I should say.
Sometimes.
Versus some things are just headlines, you know. We try not to gossip. But, you know, things happen and you do.
Duke is a gossiper.
Oh, wow, I'm the gossiper. All right. Hey, what up?
The gossiper? Who the gossiper?
I didn't say you were. I said, so I'm a gossiper. See, look, you see how he got defensive right there for no reason? I didn't even say nothing. All right, hold on. Let me do this real quick. This should, come on, thing, load up. Okay. Look, man, I complain about this all the time at this point. Getting real tired of how slow this internet is moving. They're really trying to get us up out of here, ain't they? I guess I have to just say I wanted to show it on them. Okay, here we go. All right, what up, thing? Okay. We're here now. Whatever. What up, Brian? What up, Regina? What up, George? Don't trip on the buzz. Daddy be home in a few minutes. George, you gotta chill with that daddy. You gotta chill with that, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm so sleepy, but I am here, and I'm with the brothers in chat. Great of it. Look, get your sleep. You can just rewatch it when you got some time. Get your sleep. Get your beauty sleep. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this right here. Quick story. All my gigs are gone after child sex abuse suit. So last week we said it was just a money grab. And not a few days later, the accuser came out and said they want to have a sit down. But we talked about them wanting to sit down. And they officially went and got it dismissed.
So it looked like it was a money shakedown.
But they didn't want it to settlement public, I guess, because they didn't just ask for, they didn't ask the whole, we want you to apologize in public and all this stuff.
At first they did.
Huh?
At first they did ask for her to apologize.
That's what I'm saying. At first they came with that, but a couple days later they just went straight to the court and said dismiss it.
And Tiffany Haddish just would never do any of that stuff to us.
Yeah, she would.
But you just said that. But Tiffany Haddish said she broke. Okay, I'm tying it together.
Yeah, you get it. So I guess she went broke paying them off. We'll see.
Allegedly.
Although the child molestation allegations against her have finally gone away, Tiffany Haddish career is in tatters, according to the actor comedian caught at Los Angeles International Airport on Wednesday by TMZ photographer. Haddish was candid about the blow the now dismissed lawsuit dealt her. "Oh, I lost everything. All my gigs gone," she said. "Everything gone. I don't know, bro. I don't have no job. I don't have no job, bro." According to publicly available data, Haddish appears to have no projects actively filming in pre-production, nor does she have any upcoming comedy tour dates listed. The Jane Doe who accused Haddish, 42, and comedian Aries Spears are grooming her, we don't know all that stuff. She said, saying in a statement that only named Haddish that we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. It sounds like you came out publicly and apologized to her.
Exactly, because they got that bag.
So
and I don't know why Tiffany Haddish would have any comedy tours scheduled anyway, because she ain't funny.
Well, another thing is, not only did she have the case dismissed, I'm trying to find this part right here. It says right here, Tiffany has Aries Spears, we know. Per new court docs obtained by TMZ, the plaintiff asked the judge to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled again in any court. So it seems like y'all made a deal behind the scenes that we'll dismiss the case and we'll make sure it can't come up again. So this is a one-time payoff.
And that was Tiffany's request.
And that's what I believe as well.
You cannot try to sue me and shake me down for no more money. I done gave you your bag.
I gave you this time. After this,
no more.
No more.
Because people will come back and try to get more money out of you.
Hey, that's what happened to a lot of these dudes that get accused by these women. They settle, and then years later, the woman come right back and say, "Yeah, he did this to me."
Oh, like R. Kelly?
I didn't want to go there, but it's true. How is it you can take me to court, you could civilly sue me or try to get me prosecuted, settle with me, and then years later try to take me right back to court for the same thing?
But where's the justice when you settle for money?
Exactly.
That's just being paid off.
So the smart thing, I'm guessing Tiffany Haddish did, she made them make sure it can't be refiled again. And like they said, they didn't mention Aries Spears in their statement.
Aries Spears didn't get no damn money. That's why.
So it seems like they quote unquote were taken off the hook, but that cloud is still kind of over him. It's like, I guess because he was the one in the video that was playing the pedo, so it's like
she was the one that was delivering to the pedo.
But they gonna put more onus on him because in the video he is the predator.
She the predator too.
Not in the video. She's just the innocent, naive.
Sure she is.
All right, let's move. By the way, we talked about Miss ROBBIE last week. We talked about Sweetie Pies.
You almost had a lawsuit coming to you.
And the son having their nephew, Tim Norman, having their nephew murder for hire. I found this article literally as soon as we got off live. I went and checked some articles and I saw this. I said, "Woo!" Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Miss ROBBIE Montgomery sues YouTuber for claims that she had a hand in murder for hire plot against grandson. So it's two channels in particular.
Well, somebody was thinking like you were thinking.
No. I'm trying to say I was thinking. You said the same thing.
I didn't.
Oh, so,
I
Oh, so now you didn't have those opinions. You didn't share the same opinions.
I kept my opinions reserved.
You didn't share the same opinions as me now.
I like to research stuff before I just,
So now I only represent myself. Out. All right, okay. Stay right there. But yeah, so these two YouTubers in particular, they're the ones that she sued for saying that she had part of the plot. And one of the YouTubers, she said, "This ain't the first time some asshole tried to take me down." So now that's the third, or would this be considered high profile? This is pretty.
Who's high profile?
I'm about to say this is the third person who was sued by a high profile person. Third YouTuber sued, or fourth.
Well, we had already predicted this, that you're not going to be able to just, but you shouldn't be able to throw accusations out on people no way without proof.
Well, we've always been able to speculate. So we're not allowed to speculate anymore. We're not allowed to say it's pretty strange, this type of stuff happened, and,
Well, it affects
come
people.
to a conclusion, huh?
It affects how people are viewed, so... And they're claiming they're losing money. They're their characters being defamed. So all it takes is one person, all but one turtle, to try to sue somebody and win a case, and then shit's over.
All right. But yeah, Miss Robbie, don't sue our little, don't sue us. We good.
She ain't getting shit.
We're gonna give out a formal apology.
Suing us is like opening up a purse and shaking out some pennies. So do what you got to do.
He gonna get nothing but a sorry. All right, let's go ahead and go to this one. See, it's just, well, this right here is a story about Amy Cooper, the Central Park Karen.
Where the screw? Oh, this
so
shit is really loading slow.
I told you. Amy Cooper, aka the Central Park Karen, loses lawsuit against former employer. So the woman who was in the park with her dog, with the black guy who was taking pictures of birds apparently, and she threatened to call the cops on him while he was recording her. She sued her employer for defamation, saying them suing her pushed the notion that she was racist basically. So we allowed to fire you out of policy and how you carry yourself publicly. So they basically condemned her as a racist and stuff. So she sued them and she lost.
Hey, she a fighter.
That woman is trying to get her back.
She tried to, get something out of this situation.
Yeah, she's a white woman who tagged Central Park Karen has lost a lawsuit against her former employer. According to reports, she accused a black bird watcher of threatening her in 2020, but lost a lawsuit against her former employer, claiming she was illegally fired and portrayed as a racist. U.S. District Judge Ronnie Abrams rejected Cooper's claim on Wednesday that she was defamed when ex-employer Franklin Templeton, a holding company, asked her one day after the viral altercation in Central Park. They did it so fast. Like the next day, she went viral, and the next day, she was fired. It is kind of a quick turnaround, don't you think?
Hey, her employer didn't want no smoke.
Cooper claimed that Franklin and his chief executive Jenny Johnson perpetuated her image as privileged white female Karen by making public statements about firing her after conducting an investigation into the incident. Damn, you investigated for one day?
I don't even remember the story, what he was accused of doing in the park.
Well, apparently they were walking through the park and he was taking pictures of birds. And she said that he commented on her dog, saying something about her dog. And then she started going back and forth to him. He pulls out the camera. She's on camera saying, "You threatened me." Da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
And then she pulled out her phone and said, "I'll call the cops on you." And it's like, it's kind of obvious what was implied.
And her career was over.
Yeah.
Or she lost the job.
Yeah. In May 2020, Cooper went viral after video showed her yelling at birder Christian Cooper and calling the police, and claimed the African American man was threatening her while she was walking her dog in Central Park. That's the same thing that happened to.
He may have not been African American. He is. This was in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah. What's the wide receiver, Terrell Owens? Remember when had his incident and the white woman said, "You're a black man. I'm a white woman." And
you're a black man, and I'm a white woman, and you should come inside.
And the white guy was like, "Yeah, babe, just come in. You can come
babe,
if you want.
Just come in, Terrell."
Her suit, filed in May 2021, argued her call to cops had nothing to do with Christian's race, but rather because the overzealous bird watcher selected her as a target in a feud between bird and dog lovers. Oh, so I guess her dog was making noise or barking or something, and it was running the birds away. And maybe he commented and said, "Hey, get your dog. Your dog is..."
Oh, she didn't have a dog on a leash.
She didn't?
I don't think she had a dog on a leash.
I can't remember that detail, but yeah. So another this might be, well, didn't he say that he didn't want anything to happen to her?
He did. I think he did say he didn't want anything to happen to her.
He came out and basically defended her. So I mean,
well,
hold on, okay, here we go. Get your beauty sleep. There's a few of any innocence in Hollywood, in my humble opinion, male or female. Maybe when they first arrived, but not long after caught up. She's talking about there was a
Regina.
Yeah, I mean, but lawsuits make people shut up. Even though the woman who she sued, one of them at least, she's like, "I ain't scared." What is the lawsuit? What are you really gonna do? Are you saying I'm defaming you? You saying I'm doing it on purpose? I'm purposely attacking just you, or like what are you really gonna?
You talking about Sweetie Pies?
Yeah. I mean, if you just look, and by the way, I didn't know this.
I told you this.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give you credit.
No, it's not about giving me credit. I told you this years ago.
Well, maybe I just, if it left my mind, I don't know. He reminded me that she was a backup dancer, or was not a dancer. What they call it, Ike?
Don't even have him go down that road with Ike and Tina.
No, I'm going down that road a little bit.
Leave Tina alone.
Now, he said she was Ike, and we know who was affiliated with, Ike, Tina. And I know, I sense it in my spirit.
And you know.
I know it. Jessica Brown told us the damn truth. Tina Turner is not who she portrayed herself in that, not Infamous, because it's a pretty well-liked movie. And that well-done movie, What's Love Got to Do With It?
You trying to say it's nonfiction?
Hold on, let me get it off. We now know that she had complete control over that movie as far as the narrative. Ike had no control over it. And I'm not saying Ike is innocent.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
yeah.
That Tina,
No. What you said last night? You said no, and nobody has ever came out.
Nobody corroborated her story that he was just abusive one way. That's true.
Nobody has said nothing negative about.
I didn't say nobody ever said nothing. See, now you stretching it.
No, I'm not.
Let me get back to what I'm saying. Hold on. We know that Tina has been. We know she put a gun to one of the Jackson brothers' head and said, "I'll blow your head off."
And what did he do in response?
And then she shot the gun in the air and he ran up on her. So they both.
So they both were crazy.
Know.
That just cancels out crazy.
We know that both. Everybody was on coke back then, so it's cool.
Everybody was on coke.
Now we saying she wasn't.
When you say everybody was on coke,
who wasn't?
You trying to say celebrities or people?
I mean celebrities too. It was a rich people drug. But anyway, we know Tina has also been accused of being a pimp.
She was pimping them Ikettes.
She was a pimp who they said shot one of the women who was one of her hoes. She shot her in the butt cheek, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? Maybe I'm missing. I'm remembering the detail.
I cannot confirm that.
She shot one of her hoes. She was beating them up. And we know that there was a scene in the movie What's Love Got to Do With It at the end when she fought back in the limousine. And it's like, hold on. Maybe that wasn't just a one-time incident. Maybe y'all were just fighting back and forth the whole time. Well, I will say,
we know that most domestic violence
point I'm making is
cases, both parties have put hands on one another before.
Another thing they said about the woman, Miss Robert, they said that she was an adulteress. She got around.
No, we don't need to repeat the...
Oh, we don't need to repeat the allegation.
She got sued for it. So she said.
It needs to be repeated because she was sued for it. This is what you shouldn't say, right? So all I'm saying is, if she's associated with Ike and Tina, and we know what they was into, I can't put nothing past them.
I don't know what they was into.
Okay. Yes, free will exists, but Hollywood is a dangerous MK Ultra spell with octopus hands and everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
How you doing, Keeper? That guy had a lot of empathy for that heifer, Amy Recooper. Yeah. He was trying to be a good person, a good Samaritan. He didn't want to ruin her life, apparently, even though she was willing to call the cops on his ass
with no problem.
With no problem, because he was black,
and she was willing to sue her damn employer.
Exactly,
with no problem.
So, this right, NPR. After his suspension for racist conduct, Phoenix Suns owner says he's selling the team. So this is the same. This is a playbook the NBA owners look. You got.
I said.
I know you don't follow the NBA. NBA ratings. I don't know if they're doing worse, but since the pandemic started, they've been trying to get the stadiums full, get the ratings back on track where they were. Because a lot of people during the pandemic they weren't watching sports. All sports across the board was down, which is crazy because people at home, they can't go to the stadium, so you would think they would watch more sports. People watch less. I believe some of these owners are trying to cash out. I believe some of these owners and the NBA believe that the league is on its way down, and they're trying to cash out while it's at its peak. Because he made those comments where he was, I guess, recorded, or maybe some emails where he was saying the N-word, where he was saying someone else saying the N-word. And he made some comments towards his female staff, what he called, his employees. And after the investigation, he just said, I'm selling the team. Both of them, Mercury and the NBA and the WNBA team. was the same play that Sterling used. I can't remember how much he sold the team for. Was it 2-3 billion? Something like that?
I don't know.
He sold it for 2 or 3 billion. And so now the Suns owner, he's trying to sell his. And he's probably gonna make another 2, 3, 4 billion. So is he really a punishment? If I'm making 3 billion doing this, me selling my team, I want to make 3 billion. Where's the punishment?
There is no punishment.
Let me show this. Oh, the new series on Netflix called the Jeffrey Dahmer series, Monster, where they go through all the victims that he had, and I guess it got a pretty decent response. Some people saying they couldn't watch the whole thing because it was just so messed up and stuff, all the stuff that he was accused of, and the events that took place.
Serial killer that targeted black man.
Yeah. But this article here went through what's real and what's fake. We're not gonna read through the article. I just want to point out, like you just said, there's a lot of these serial killers that I didn't know. A lot of them in particular targeted certain demographics, black people. This Dahmer dude, he was a sicko who was getting men to come back to his home, kill them.
How did he get him to come back to his home?
What do you mean how you get him in his home?
How you get him to come back to his home?
What do you mean how?
How? Why would another man go back to another man's home?
Most of them were homosexual.
Okay.
I would imagine all were. I don't know. But there was, if I'm not mistaken,
judgment.
All except 2 were black.
Oh, were the other 2 Mexican or something?
Yeah, I think one was some type of Hispanic or something. I can't remember.
Oh, black and brown, and then again together.
Well, that's the crazy one. I think the Hispanic one, or one of them, was a little kid. He was a young kid. I don't know if he was like 13. I think he was like a younger person. And he got out. Oh, wow. But the cops caught up with him and said, what you doing out here? And the Jeffrey Dahmer dude came up on him and said, yeah, he's with me. He's trying to run away. And the cops like, hey, go back with your guardian. He thought it was his guardian. And he's telling him, no, he's trying to do something to me and all this stuff. He's like, he's just being a little crazy. And the cop sent him back with him.
This should be charged with murder.
And then obviously he killed him and ate him. And it came out later that was the kid. That was one of the people. I can't remember how old he was. I know he was young.
What world do you live in where? I guess you got to be white.
Caucasian man. That's the point.
That's what whiteness gets you.
Like the Unabomber. A lot of these people, when you talk about the serial killers in the 80s and 90s, 70s, a lot of them had some weird connections. What's the big guy's name? The clown? You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
No. What clown?
I know his name. His name is slipping me right now. The serial killer who was connected to the Democratic Party.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name either.
When he was going around killing kids, young boys. He had connections to the Democratic Party, to people who were very influential. Then obviously the Unabomber, who was a part of a MK Ultra experiment on his campus, and then next thing you know, he's sending bombs to people's house to blow them up. A lot of these serial killers that popped up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they popped up because they were planted. Just like the same way you got mass shooters now, that's what serial killers were then. If I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago, they said they captured a serial killer. Remember? They got a dude who was allegedly a serial killer who had did some crimes back in like the 90s or something. They caught him finally.
I don't remember that story.
You don't really hear about serial killers anymore because
I wonder why.
They replaced the serial killers with mass shooters.
Allegedly.
That's what I believe, yeah. So allegedly. But a strange comment I saw was this right here. I don't think you saw this. So this is a black man. The black man problem. Jeffrey Dahmer's mugshot definitely gives something I didn't know or think it would give.
What is he talking about?
See, this is why them Negroes died.
What is he trying to say?
He saw the mugshot and found the man attractive. Knowing what this, then you see
If I could teleport you, I'd teleport your ass right back to where he was and let him give you what you want to get.
When I saw this, I said, "This is crazy. This is why I'm not gonna go that far.
Judgment.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna stop.
Judgment. Yes, it is. It's judgment. Go that far. That's why y'all got them damn bumps on your ass.
Oh snap! All right, let me. Oh, now I want to work. Thank you.
Internet is just.
Yeah. You're moving crazy. All right. I forgot to do this.
It's not even loading no more.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Hold on, let me. Celtics coach Ime Udoka suspended for entire season after engaging in intimate relationship with staffer. Now, this is one of those cases where, once again, I thought this was going to be a pretty quick case. I thought it was going to be a little headline that within a couple of days, people going to laugh at him. Oh, he cheated on Nia Long. That was a storyline. You know, people was joking about that. How you going to cheat on Nia Long?
Well, Nina has, she's aging.
Yeah,
she's aging gracefully.
John Wayne Casey. Yeah, that's it. John Wayne Casey. The cops in the incident were dumb because the young teen was naked, but they released him back to Dahmer. Yeah, Casey. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, they released the kid back to the damn man.
So he's naked.
He was naked.
I would think that this child was running for his life.
You would think at minimum he's been abused.
Nope, he white.
Yeah. Like Bill Cosby. Wait, what?
Like Bill Cosby.
What we say? George explained that. Maybe we're missing it. It's just cause it's just bad.
See, George, what you mean by Bill Cosby?
He's talking about right here. He's talking about what's his name? I think he's talking about the people taking payments. It's justice because it's just a bag. Okay, back to this right here. Because this story, once again, I thought this was a story that was gonna be a headline for a couple of days. People gonna make jokes. Oh, look, he cheated on Nia Long. People posting pictures of her and saying how beautiful she is. How can you cheat on this? Even though I think
she's a beautiful woman.
That don't mean anything. Beauty don't.
No, beauty holds you, but for so long.
I remember you hear people make the old school comment.
For some people.
They made the old school comment saying for every beautiful woman you see as a man that's sick of her. So that don't mean anything. I'm not saying it's her fault that he cheated or did what he did. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people cheat for different reasons. People seek validation outside their relationship past their partner's beauty or whatever. But this case turned into something more and more. I mean, they kept the suspense on this case so high because they kept saying we can't say everything. All the facts are not out, and it's like, bro, he cheat. Okay, we get it. Move on. But then people started, why would they suspend him for 1 year for just having an affair, which they apparently knew about for months, at least 2 months. They knew about this relationship until this particular woman.
Who gets suspended for having an affair?
That's the point. Until they say they have policy because they don't want something like that to happen. Obviously, the climate we in, the Me Too thing.
The Me Too thing is still here?
Apparently.
And how did Joe Biden get in office?
Oh, they paused it for about 6 months when he was running. When he was campaigning, when that woman Tara was coming out saying what he did, they paused Me Too for a little while. Said she's lying. And it's like, well, I thought we were supposed to believe.
No, some women are hoes.
Oh, all of a sudden they got they was in reality. They was grounded at that point. Every woman is not telling the truth. All of a sudden they was keeping it real. But apparently this woman went to the Celtics and said that he was making inappropriate comments towards her that she didn't want. And you go, wait, were they having a relationship and then they stopped? She cut it off and he kept going. He kept pursuing it. Now we're hearing it was multiple women. He might have got somebody pregnant. It was the vice president's wife. It's now you got people coming out saying, you know, there's more to the story. He may should go to jail and all kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, damn, what happened? But I'm gonna show this right quick. This is Stephen A. Smith. He made comments about this, and this is rare for Stephen A. to take a stand against certain things. The last time he took a stand against something like this, he was suspended. When Michelle Beadle, when he said that when they kept talking about the Ray Rice situation, like, man, you know, maybe she shouldn't have put her hands on him. Don't put yourself in a situation where a man can hit you. And Michelle Beatty was like, you know, you're accusing a woman and all this other stuff. And they suspended his ass.
Well, Steven he has more power now, so.
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
Oh no, it's because it's a black person involved. The woman ain't black, but
how you know the woman?
Because all the woman that keeps showing, she's not.
Oh, yeah.
Although they did have a whole bunch of women that was thrown up, which was messed up because some of those women are married.
Yeah, we don't know who they are.
Yeah, so that's kind of messed up. Y'all kept putting all those women out there, but yeah. Stephen A. Smith on Ime Udoka's story. Plenty of white folks in professional sports that's doing their thing. And I'm just gonna play this clip.
Seems like you know who they are too.
Oh, if he's in touch like he said he is, as far as connections in the industry, he definitely know what he's talking about. Let me just play a little bit of this. I wanted to show the Twitter, but you know, shit didn't want to load. Hold on, let me.
What is going on? Every time we get ready to start doing this, the internet just starts going slow.
Yeah, I might have to wipe this at some point. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me go back here.
This is what happened last week.
Now, last week it was worse. The screen just went black for like 30 seconds, and then
look how slow it's taking to load.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna read what he said. He said, "Because I got news for you, America. There's plenty of white folks in professional sports that's doing their thing, and I say that as not complimentary." Stephen A. Smith said, "As seen in the viral clip below, I don't see the information about the others. Why are they talking about this now?" Stephen A. Smith on Ime Udoka situation. There's plenty of white folks we know. Smith specifically took issue with the release of follow-up information they previously reported, in which it was claimed that the news of possible suspension was linked with the alleged consensual relationship Udoka had with a woman on the team staff. According to Smith, it was the fault of the Celtics organization. All right, so let's just move on to this next part. And you asked the question, why would the Celtics she was choking the dog with the leash. I never what up, Don Juan? He said
we got Don Juan in here.
Oh, the pimp? I never knew there was so
talking
many
about Tina and a pimp showed up.
Large companies or organizations that have very strict policies about how sexual relationships with subordinate. 9 out of 10 companies he would be fired. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Why didn't they just fire him? That's the big thing. The story is whatever. Why are they suspending him for breaking a policy instead of firing him?
Well, he is quote unquote.
Well, he's one of the first black coaches they've had in a little while, I guess. It's the Boston Celtics. They have a history
of.
When they had the
people
first
Mondays.
I think they had a first black coach with Bill Russell. I think he might have been their first black coach. He was a player coach. Because they take pride in that, even though people point out, Boston is kind of.
They take pride in that.
Yeah, we were the first team to have a black coach. Be happy, you niggas. But,
Mondays.
Huh?
Be happy, you Mondays.
Oh yeah, they got us. Let me tell you something. The amount of slurs and by names they have for black people. When you look up black people slurs, there's like the list is like 5 pages, but everybody else is like a handful.
I hate Mondays. You too.
Now if you go to Boston and you hear somebody say that, you go, "You racist
fucking Monday, really?"
But it's actually Monday, so you don't even know. You don't know if they talking about you or not. All right, but back to this. Oh, I didn't mean to go this far. Sorry. Did I put that in the wrong spot? I think I did. Oh, we just go to this then.
We can't even go to nothing because it ain't even loading.
Oh, Brian brought up Doc Rivers. You didn't see the Doc Rivers stuff, did you?
What did he say?
He was quote unquote hacked, and he was liking certain. He had certain things in his likes.
What?
The man want to be a woman types. He was liking some stuff, but he said he was hacked. Oh, that's the thing.
The trannies?
Huh?
He was liking trannies?
Yeah. It was bad. Yeah. People like, damn, man, what's going on, Doc? What's going on? It was jokes. People like, what the hell going on with Doc? They were like, he clearly was hacked. But it's like, no, if he was hacked, They could have released DMs. This is Doc Rivers. The whole Ben Simmons situation, he could have released information on Joel Embiid. There's a whole bunch of stuff they could have released in
But
his
they
DM,
chose those.
but they chose to like some stuff on his profile. Like, it ain't looking good for Doc. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me let y'all hear what Malika Andrews had to say, and it led to a back and forth between her and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is of the mindset of, if you're going to suspend him, if you're doing this publicly, you could have did this behind the scenes.
He wants you to reprimand
Why you
them
ain't
both.
telling us what the woman did, and if you're going to suspend her? Because they both broke policy.
They both should be
It was
reprimanded.
consensual. Huh?
They both should be reprimanded.
Exactly. So he wasn't blaming the woman. He was blaming the Celtics organization.
Well,
But
it's hard to hold them accountable.
But Malika Andrews, she didn't like that. She felt like he was blaming the women in the situation. Let me let y'all hear it.
Well, Molly, thank you. If I could first start.
Oh yeah, Brian, and he was Doc Rivers is a former coach of the Celtics. So, you know, we always joke about LA being freaky town. Boston's like it's pretty freaky town.
Start with this, Stephen A. With all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent?
You hear that?
That white? No, it was the whiteness in her.
With all due respect.
To me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just wanted to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization, and I think that that is something that was clearly necessary.
So it sounds like the Boston Celtics simply suspended him, not fired him, because they were trying to cover for themselves for a possible, I'm going to say like a possible shakedown attempt. Maybe they thought this woman was about to try to go public with this and paint the organization as this sexist organization that allows this coach to just go around and flirt with all the female staff and not say anything. So they said, let's just suspend him. Even though we know what was going on, we're just going to suspend him. To just let it be known we did something. We took action towards the situation.
In this situation, but the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
So that's what she had to say.
So no accountability.
So all she worried about is don't blame the women. Even though
She played a part in it. She knew he was, I'm sure that she knew he was engaged.
she also knew he was her, because apparently people are asking the question, was he her boss in the organization? Did he have higher status than her? And does that change the power dynamic? But she also know she could have been went and said something if she never wanted this.
Well, that's why you got to control your lust.
And we're going to get to that. How many men fall because they can't control their lust. But we'll get to that in a second. Now, Stephen A. Smith, I don't know what it is, but the women at ESPN, they love challenging him. You rarely see women challenge the other host, the other men on the network. Stephen A. Smith, he went back and forth with Carrie Champion, Michelle Beadle. Now you got Malika Andrews, and there's been some spicy comments made towards other ones as well. Well, they've made, they made comments toward him. I mean, you've had staff, not just the women, the men, flat out say they just don't like his show. Like saying it. He obviously he's the most popular. He garnered the most attention, and they just publicly was saying how they didn't like his show. They didn't like First Take. So it was, we know about Stephen A, but he do get a lot of should I use the word jealousy or envy from his co-workers. I will say that. So it's not surprising that she made those comments towards him, because for some reason they feel like they can just swing on him anytime.
I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled.
So you get the point. Stephen Smith had to check her on TV because she was ready to, paint him with the stroke.
She's ready to talk over him.
Yes. So the fact that he had to do that, considering who he is at the company, is kind of crazy. Now, I'm not going to listen to this one. This is just Matt Barnes.
Oh, what was the name?
Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the good hair got something to say.
He came out and supported Ime at first. Then he deleted it and said, I learned some new stuff.
That's why you shouldn't come out and support or say anything until you know the facts.
Yeah, he said it's 100 times worse than
and I'm not saying that the dude did anything. I'm just saying you should wait.
Yeah, exactly. So we still don't know the true what he's accused of, but that's the biggest story in sports right now. And when you look at history, so many great men, and when I say great, I don't mean morally, I mean accomplishments. So many dudes fall because they can't control themselves around women. You're the coach of the Boston Celtics. You have a fiance and a child at home. Why are you sleeping with people why are you trying to, I don't want to say it like that. Why are you messing around people that you work with?
Well, he would say because he's a grown-ass man, he can do what he want to do.
And it comes back to the question, does the higher status a man obtain, is it less likely of him being a one-woman man?
Do you know anybody that has that type of status and has only been
with one woman?
Yes. Do you know anybody?
No.
Okay, then that answers your question. Now that tells you, are the women that are involved in that person's life going to be able to deal with it?
They're gonna have to. But some of these dudes, now his career, more than likely, let's be honest, he's not coming back. They suspended him.
Don't say that. You don't know.
This is me. This is me, my theory, or what I think is going to happen.
Back and retract.
I ain't got to retract. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I believe they suspended him, but in about 2 or 3 months, you're going to hear that he's completely stepped down. He's not returning. Especially if the interim coach who comes in does well, they're going to be like, you may as well just go about your business. 'Cause I think it's assistant coach, the ones they put in, the interim coach they're bringing in, I believe he's a quote unquote person of color. I don't know if he's black. So if he does well, they're going to pretty much tell him, hey, just go ahead and step down. Make this easy. We don't want to make this dirty. We don't want to release everything. Just step away. That's what I believe going to happen. All right, let me go back to this. Georgia man who said he was defending himself against racist attack sentenced himself to 10 years over fatal shooting. I'm sorry, he's defending himself against racist attack, sentenced to 10 years over fatal shooting. A Georgia man will spend years behind bars for a fatal shooting he claimed was in self-defense. According to the Statesboro Herald, 23-year-old William Mark Wilson was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the death of Haley Hutchinson, a white 17-year-old he allegedly shot and killed on June 14, 2020. Authorities say the incident took place shortly before 1 a.m. when Wilson, who was black, was driving his Ford Fusion with then-girlfriend Emma Rigdon. Wilson claimed at one point during his travels, a group of white teens in a Chevy Silverado began harassing him and his girlfriend. He told police the boys were shouting racial slurs as they attempted to run his car off the road. Wilson's attorney said that the teens also threw objects at the couple and followed them for several miles before Wilson grabbed his legally possessed handgun and fired shots at the truck. One of the bullets hit Hutchinson in the head. The teen was pronounced dead shortly after her friends rushed her to the hospital. All right. So the full story is he was charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, and deadly weapon, and possession of deadly weapon to commit a felony. He was ultimately acquitted of those charges, but found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Wilson's legal team attempted to justify the shooting with self-defense and stand your ground arguments. So you got I'm gonna start with what he said. You got this biracial dude who's riding with his Caucasian girlfriend. A group of teenagers, Caucasian teenagers, pull up next to his car. They're shouting racial slurs. They're throwing stuff at his car. They're trying to run him off the road. At some point, he pull out his gun. He shoots two shots, if I'm not mistaken, or six. I think it was two shots. One of them hit the 17-year-old girl who was in the back seat in the car with the other three teenagers. And he's now charged with involuntary manslaughter and serving 10 years. Is that fair?
What?
Getting charged with getting sent to prison 10 years because they was fucking with you.
He killed somebody.
They was fucking with him.
From what the article said and it described as far as him being in danger, when they said he threw a can at his...
No, they say he threw objects. They found a can.
They found a can.
So they might have threw more than just a can.
They didn't throw anything that they could see that where the car was severely damaged in the case.
No.
So I think him pulling out his gun doing that was extreme because it was teenagers.
He didn't know they were teenagers. At the time, did he?
I don't know. It didn't say
After
that in the article.
Fact, I think he knew they were teenagers, but at the time, we don't know what he knew.
I think it was extreme.
So you believe he deserved to be in prison 10 years?
I think he should have tried other measures before he decided to pull out his gun and shoot somebody.
That's not what I asked. He deserved to be in prison for 10 years?
I'm going by what the jury gave him.
I'm asking you.
What they awarded him.
It's justified for him to serve 10 years in prison.
I can't say what's justified for him to serve.
Yeah, so you won't answer the question.
I am answering the question. I'm not answering the question that you want me, how you want me to answer the question, but I'm answering the question.
Okay. Brian said, wouldn't be surprised if you see the first female head coach for the Celtics. They tried that with what's her name from the Spurs, but she finally realized no. Now she with the Aces and she just won her first WNBA championship. If I'm not mistaken, she's the head coach of that Las Vegas Aces, I'm thinking. I think the interim coach, they're gonna stick with him for this year. But you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if next offseason, when he officially steps down, they don't say, we got an African dude in here. Let's go get a woman now. So maybe so.
Checking out the boxes.
The organization has to see some type of employee handbook. The stadium where they play has to have the employee handbook for all the employees who work there. It is a conduct business. Dude, it doesn't matter what she knows. She knows it matters on her position over her. Travis, call your handler and tell them you cool and stop messing with the internet.
Who said that?
George.
Call my handler.
George said you got them messing with the internet.
I ain't got no handler.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Man who claimed to be Ghanaian prince. Oh, so you agree 10 years, that's justice.
What I'm saying is,
no,
what the jury awarded him is what they awarded him.
No, yes or no?
I can't define what he should have and what he should not have.
Yes or no? Do you agree with it?
I've already said what I said.
You haven't.
Yes, I have.
So you do agree with it? Come on, man. Stand on it.
I'm standing on it.
Say yes or no.
Listen, I don't answer questions the way that you want me to answer questions. Sorry, it ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah, you doing that because he's biracial. Man who claims
I'm doing it because he what?
Biracial.
That's not the reason why I'm doing it.
Why? So you just think...
I just look at cases differently from how you view them.
You haven't answered... Okay, so he deserves...
There's been cases where there were black people that have done a situation, and I said the same thing. So what are you talking about?
That's true. So you think he deserved 10 years?
I've answered the question. Move on to the fraudulent Ghanaian prince.
Okay, man who claimed to be Ghanaian prince convicted of fraud in Ohio. A man in Ohio is convicted on Friday of swindling 14 people out of more than $800,000 as part of a 6-year operation where he claimed to be a Ghanaian prince. A press release from the Justice Department explains why Daryl Robert Harrison, 44, pretended to be Prince Daryl R. Antipo and Prophet Daryl R. Antipo. He saw investors for alleged African mining and trucking companies he supposedly associated with. In the scheme, which lasted from January 2014 until September 2020, Harrison claimed to have direct connections with these businesses, boasting that the investment could result in a 28 to 33% return. According to the DOJ release, Harrison and his stepfather claimed to be ministers for the Powerhouse of Prayer Ministries, who sponsored a religious service in various church facilities and private residence in Ohio and Colorado. Majority of the victims were from his congregation. Prosecutors said the two went on to put the money toward luxury cars, airplane tickets, and send a house to rent a house in Colorado. CNN notes that the 2020 indictment alleged Harrison and his stepfather withdrew the cash from their failed to provide investors with interest payments, routinely terminated all communications with investors, ignored individual investor inquiries, and ignored demands for the investors seeking the return of investment monies. Harrison was convicted of mail and wire fraud, conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud, and witness tampering. He currently awaits his sentencing where he faces up to 20 years in prison. His stepfather denies any involvement in the scam and has yet to begin trial. Look, man, why is it so easy to pimp the church? Why is it, if you're in the church, you're supposed to have discernment, spiritual discernment. Why are the most gullible people, naive people in church?
Most of the people in church ain't living right. That's why.
You shouldn't be getting conned if you in church.
Well, hell, the people in church be conning people.
So Connor's conning.
Conning.
Well, yeah, man, that's crazy how the most gullible people, the people that get conned the easiest, are in church when you're supposed to be the one with the most discernment. Strange. What should be a bigger story in media, or the sports media, we talked about the Ime Udoka story, where we're not going to get any more information on that more than likely. Or it will. It'll come out slowly. Unless they just decide we tired of all the narrative. We're just going to throw it out there on y'all. Sponsors are sticking with Brett Favre, even though he stole $5 million from poor people in Mississippi. Nobody's really talking about, when people obviously are talking about it, but it's not talked about as much.
This should be the bigger story.
It should be a much bigger story. Because it's not just him, it's the governor. It's a lot of people involved in this, and he's able to just walk away and get away with it. And he said he ain't paying, well, he said he wasn't gonna pay it back, but he gave some of it back, but not the interest.
He paid it back, yeah. He just didn't give the interest.
He didn't give the interest. But now they're saying there's $5 million involved. And the crazy part is, you know what's really crazy about this? He wanted the $5 million so that he can build a volleyball stadium for his daughter's team. $5 million to build a volleyball stadium.
He felt it of importance for his daughter and their team.
And he stole the money from welfare funds. So the poorest people in the poorest people in the poorest state, he stole from them to build a stadium. But the same person who run Mississippi said that they don't agree with Jackson State getting funds to build a stadium.
You expect them to have the same
I don't.
support for you as they do their own?
I don't. But it's a college.
That they have no value, no interest in.
That's the biggest point. They don't care.
So that means you have to care and do for sale.
That means people voted for him.
Black people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they
And
do
it's like,
that.
He don't care. Like we don't care. We'll give him money for a volleyball team, but we're not gonna build a stadium for a football team that can make us even more money. We don't even care if it could actually benefit us. We would rather throw it to the damn garbage. It's crazy. But they obviously found text messages where Brett Favre was saying, there's no way this can come back to me and where this money came from, right? And they're like, no, we got you, man. You're good. You're good. Well, you're not good. Some of the brands have quietly gotten away from Brett Favre. Brands are quitting Brett Favre amid welfare scandal. Cooper Fitz still featured Favre in ads, while SiriusXM failed to respond to questions about his status. A pharma company and prayer app have deleted most mentions of Favre. At least two brands appear to be quietly distancing themselves from Brett Favre in the aftermath of his connection to the welfare scandal in Mississippi. Favre and the pharma startup and the Hall of Fame quarterback were associated with the link to millions of diverted funds. According to the filings in the media reports, latest allegations relate to $5 million in misused welfare money that went to build a volleyball complex at a college where the daughter played. Were reported by Mississippi Today in September 13th. Now, one in particular came out and defended him 100%, saying that we're not getting rid of him. We've known him for years. You know, we know him. We sticking with him. He's been proven innocent. So we're going to stick with him. They staying loyal to their boy. But yeah, this would be a much bigger deal than it is. And this is another story that is getting no media attention in sports. Herm Edwards' staff helped get him fired in an unbelievable way. Herm Edwards, coach of the Arizona State. Do you know, I ain't even got to read this. His staff was leaking information about the team's game plan to other teams so that they would lose. His staff wanted him fired so bad, they were sabotaging his game plan by giving the other team the plays and stuff he was going to do.
Who's his staff?
What you mean, who's the staff? He worked for Arizona State.
I'm asking who's his staff. Are they're white? They're majority
Well, I saw
white?
somebody say he liked to hire white people.
Well,
you think that's fair? Then
you pick who you hire?
It doesn't matter who you hire, do it?
It does matter who we hire. When I hire people, it's based on my views of them and how I think they're going to help the team.
This is not even a big story, and it should be. He's probably going to sue Arizona State. He got to sue him. But I was looking, I saw this story, and I'm thinking about the black coaches who decide not to go coach at HBCUs. And then I came across a video from a podcast where they talked about Deion Sanders being at Jackson State, and a guy made comments like, you know, he think he's using HBCUs in Jackson State. He don't really care. He just using them as a stepping stone, and it's not really going to benefit HBCUs in the long run. How people supporting this are actually cooning, and they'll realize it in 5 to 10 years. And I thought, is it really cooning if you coach HBCUs, get the funding up, make them bring in a different culture, and in 4 or 5 years,
bring in a different culture?
Yeah, and in 4.
What's the culture going to be?
Winning. You bring in a different culture, a winning culture. You change the dynamic of tradition that actually makes sense, and not just stick with it because you want to keep doing it. And in 5 to 10 years, 4 to 5 years, you leave. Is that cooning? And you go to a PWI.
Yes.
You think that's cooning?
Because you were never there for your people. You were only there using them as a stepping stone to get where you need to go.
But they benefited greatly.
Well, who's to say are they gonna continue to be great after you leave?
No, he's talking about while he was there, they benefited greatly. So
It's about afterwards though.
So there's not a trade-off there. It's only one-sided.
So you're trading with your people to succeed and go on and move upward.
Isn't everything about give and take? We get as much as you get.
I disagree with it.
So you think it's just, or are you just against the whole idea of a black coach going to a PWI?
Yes.
Okay, well that's a different opinion. I don't disagree with it, but what I'm asking is, if you're benefiting a
you
college,
do disagree with it.
How I disagree with it?
Because you said it earlier. You said it was fine.
To my point, if you're at a college, HBCU, and you're helping them greatly, you're bringing in more money, donations, and you decide to leave to go to another school or PWI, if they benefited as much as you did.
Yes, they benefited, but you were only there to elevate yourself. You were never there with the intent of staying. Your intent was to build yourself up and then go on and leave.
But what if the whole purpose of me leaving is because I'm trying to elevate the entire conference, but certain people don't want to change tradition? If y'all not going to change, I got to go. Is that not a factor?
Okay. Go somewhere else, and then in a couple of years that'll happen. This situation happen, they get your ass out. Go.
Your staff will get you fired.
Go. Don't come back.
They've been wanting him gone. I know some people in the athletics department. Yeah, they've been talking bad about
his
him.
Connections in the
Huh?
They said they know somebody?
Yeah. Bryant. Yeah, Herm Edwards is the one, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Herm Edwards? No. I'm thinking about Tony Dungy, who built the team. I think it was the Bucks, and they won. Bucks or some one of them. Anyway, yeah, Herm Edwards. They've been wanting to get rid of him for a little while, especially the last couple of months. It's been a little rocky, to say the least. A lot of investigations going on there. So yeah, they wanted him out so bad. They were willing to lose games, which is crazy because they were sacrificing the players. Like you put them in a bad situation. If I'm the running back and the other team know we running down their throat this whole game, they're gonna stack the box and I'm gonna get less yards and less chance to have a good game and less chance to get drafted. You messing up a lot of people's chances, but they wanted him out bad. Let's go ahead and move on though. But yeah, I don't, if Deion Sanders do right by them and they need to move on, if they won't elevate with him and he decide to leave, then it is what it is.
He can go, dude. Let him go.
Man arrested in fire that destroyed historic church in Los Angeles. Authorities have arrested a homeless man in connection with a fire that destroyed a century-old church in South Central Los Angeles earlier this month. Carlos Diaz, 23, was taken into custody Sunday. The Los Angeles Fire Department announced he faces an arson charge for allegedly setting fire to the Victory Baptist Church located in Fort, that's the avenue, whatever. Fire crew responded to the church shortly around 2 a.m. To find the building fully engulfed. One firefighter was seriously injured when the roof collapsed on top of him. Fire officials said 2 other firefighters suffered minor injuries. And look who it is. Just burning down churches. Maybe it was just mental illness.
That's what it looked like.
It was mental illness. Yeah. He just some homeless dude, and he just saw this building and decided to set it ablaze. Why not?
Can't spin it racially.
Oh, it ain't racial. Oh, because it's a black and brown. It's black and brown.
I mean, the black people ain't gonna do shit no way.
What you mean ain't gonna do shit?
They ain't gonna do shit.
You don't think black people ride?
Shit. Yeah, ride on one another.
Damn. That's some real shit though. I mean, I can't disagree with you. Like old buddy said, you niggas in the hood kill more niggas than cops, so it is what it is.
Look at you cooning over there.
Oh, I'm cooning. A black Alabama woman who lost her eye but survived KKK's infamous 1963 church bombing, which killed 4 black girls, demands state pay her millions in compensation after previous governor stoked racism.
They still haven't paid this woman.
Think about it. That's 1963. She was 10 years old. She lost her eye and a couple other injuries, and they still have not given her restitution.
How long did it take the September 11 people to get restitution?
The next month, probably. Which it was some Negroes involved in 9/11 too.
We don't know if they got paid or not.
That's what I'm about to say. We don't know if they actually got paid. But then Governor George Wallace, a strict segregationist, stoked the flames of racism with his rhetoric. Oh, we know George Wallace. That's a good friend of what's his name? Oh, Joe Biden.
The big guy.
Go watch our video. We had our Just Joe Brown video, and he went into the deep history. And then we did another video behind that where we went into the historical records to show that Joe Biden was very good friends with a bunch of segregationists.
Well, he likes working with
both sides.
Both sides, you know,
But
uniting the owls.
Yeah, I thought that when Trump said both sides had good and bad people, when that Virginia stuff happened, that was like, oh my God, Trump is supporting
White supremacy.
White supremacy. But Biden said the same thing about them. He said both sides need to talk. Both sides have good and bad people. He said the same thing. But, you know, good for thee. The fifth little girl, Sarah Collins Rudolph, who was permanently maimed in 1963 KKK bombing of the Birmingham, Alabama church, says the state should pay her millions after former Governor George Wallace stoked the flames of racism with his segregation speeches. Rudolph, 71, lost an eye and still had pieces of glass inside her body from the Klan attack in the 16th Baptist Street church that killed her sister and 3 other black girls 59 years ago. She was 10 years old when the attack occurred. She's still waiting on the state to compensate her for her injuries. Well, we still talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. The lawsuit they're still suing.
They wouldn't settle for pennies.
Like, it's always need to be a study. It need to be some research, a committee when it's you. You got to do some research. We got to figure this thing out. We got to make sure we get it right with you. Everybody else, we can just, payments, move on.
Well, some people do get, some black people do get.
You talking about the ones that got killed by cops and the family get some money?
No, there was a case where a little girl went to the dentist and something happened. They gave $95 million.
$95 million?
$95 million. This is in Texas.
There's a little girl.
Yeah. Well, she was a little girl when it happened, though.
No, I'm saying the reason why they gave her so much money because she was a little girl. $95 million?
$95 million.
What you do with the dentist?
Too oxygen, too much something happened with the oxygen.
Did she pass away?
No, she lived.
Is she
but
fine?
I think it affected her long term.
Okay. Damn.
Somebody done came up.
That ain't no come up.
Black people, that was a blessing what happened.
No,
your own daughter, that was a blessing.
Yeah, if she's that was a blessing. If something wrong with her permanently, it's not a blessing, but damn.
They gonna say that's a blessing.
Yeah, some sick Negro gonna say it's a blessing. Governor K. Ivey
God don't make no mistakes.
That guy's what God wanted. Yeah, it is. Governor K. Ivey sidestepped the question of financial compensation 2 years ago and apologizing to Rudolph for her untold pain and suffering, saying legislative involvement was needed. But nothing has been done despite the efforts of attorney representing Rudolph, leaving unsolved the question of payment. Even the victims of other attacks, including 9/11, were compensated. Yeah.
Hopefully she get it.
Hopefully. I don't know what they're going to give her, but, wish her luck. At least you can wish me luck.
When is that show coming back? I've been waiting on
Man,
it.
50 done left stars. It's over.
No, he going to get it on another network.
Is it going to load? Come on. Here we go with the bullshit, man.
Nah, she ain't shit loading.
Okay. Like, really? Oh, thank you. I'm just going to read a headline of this one. When you come to America, you want to avoid anyone black. Author talks about new book, America Made Me a Black Man and Being a Black Man, being black in America. This was a, what was he? Somalian,
which is a
American.
lie.
And
I don't know no Somalian that can be mistaken for no African American.
Everybody,
Tell me one.
People see you and they know where you from, my nigga. Like,
y'all some of the most racist
Somalians?
People of color, because you don't want to be identified as black.
The Somalians will tell you quick, we are not sub-Saharan African. We are Arabic.
Mixed.
We are mixed Arabic and something else. That's not all, but
I don't know one that hasn't said it, so I can say all.
I've seen some Somalians say some crazy stuff, but he basically saying that the concept, obviously we know the concept of being black is only an American thing, and that he believed that foreign people are told before they even get here
The concept of being black is only an American thing.
Yeah.
So when I say black people
we're
in
not getting
America
to
are
this.
the
Don't
only
do this,
ones
'cause when
that
I
can
ask you-
identify as black, you get offended by
No,
that.
I don't. Because I asked you a question, you can't answer it.
I didn't answer the question, and don't ask the question again.
Why?
Because we done did this several times, and
You
we ain't
won't
doing it
answer
no
the
more.
question.
It's it. Don't ask the question.
I'm about to say it.
Well, you can say it. It ain't gonna get answered because it done been answered before.
It hasn't. Are they a different race?
Dude, move on.
Answer that question. Are they a different race than black Americans?
I never said they were a different race.
So the same
Some
race.
of them,
So
not
this-
all.
So the same race.
No, I can't. They're not all. Not of them all.
I
We are
didn't
not
say- I
all the
didn't ask
same
you that
though.
question. Are they a different race?
Let it go.
See, y'all, you won't answer that.
I didn't
one.
answer the question. I ain't answering it no more.
Okay. Oh Lord. See, when I put that fire to him,
You don't put
he
shit.
fold. He don't want to answer that question. Let me let this load. Hold on.
Only fire that's coming from you is that hot breath out your mouth. That's the fire.
Oh Lord. Come on, thing, load, please. Please load. But I'm just gonna skip it. Fuck it. So there was another situation that happened. The Zionists have came out and said that discussing white privilege is anti-Semitic.
Well, they're white, so it is anti-Semitic.
They're saying that if you talk about white privilege and teach it to young people, that is a form of anti-Semitism. I don't know how they do it.
What is anti-Semitic? Ain't nothing anti-Semitic. Then.
We get told that black people always bring up the race card. Don't nobody bring up the ethnic card, whatever you want to call it, more than the more than the
the
tiny
Lord's in
hat.
vain using those Jews in the same sentence.
Huh?
Don't you say the Lord's name in vain using those Jews in the same sentence?
When I say Lord's name?
You about to say those God?
No, I wasn't about to say that. I just didn't want to say it blatantly because I know, the streets listening.
Those are the people of the Bible. Don't talk about them like that.
Yeah, okay, wicked ass. Okay, now I want to load. Okay. So this guy right here, I don't skip it now, fuck it. Jewish organization class over teaching white privilege. The Zionist Organization of America has called for the firing of an Anti-Defamation League CEO. The conservative Jewish advocacy group, Zionist Organization of America, has demanded that its liberal Jewish counterpart, the Anti-Defamation League, fire its CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, I ain't gonna get to that name, accusing him in a statement released on Monday for turning the organization into a hive of woke leftism and anti-Israel sentiment and propagandizing school children with anti-bias educational programs. Citing a recent Fox News investigation, the ZOA charged the ADL with promoting far left and critical race theory concepts such as white privilege and systematic racism, through the educational materials which have reportedly been taught to 1.4 million children and 1,600 schools. This group's promotion of the white privilege concept has already been weaponized against Jews, they point out, by none other than Greenblatt himself, who in the early 2016 was accusing American Jews of benefiting from it. So now he's saying we can't discuss white privilege because it includes Jewish people, and that means you're teaching people to have a skewed view of us, which means it's anti-Semitic.
For them, it's anti-Semitic.
Man, like you said earlier, you brush your teeth wrong.
Anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic. Boy, don't nobody pull that card as much as them.
They get to. They're the people of the Bible.
And it's funny because I saw a video of what's her name, Nancy Pelosi, her saying that it is going to be it is the Jewish community that helped bring a victory to the Democrats in 2020, and they're going to do it again 2022. I said, well, damn. Everybody was everybody was the number one, wouldn't they? First
you
they
think she
say
like dark liquor or white liquor?
who?
Nancy.
Nancy
She's a
a dark
wine
liquor.
drinker.
Nancy drink it all. Nancy
I
just.
just imagine her having one of those, what they call little can. What
I know
you
you're
store
talking
your
little metal
liquor-
things.
little metal drinks, store it under them big
Canisters?
jugs, and
Yeah.
then whenever the
And
camera
whenever she
turns,
drinks,
you
she
just
pop
pull
it
them
out.
out.
Drinking. Have a little gin in there. Far right
gin
radio
and
host
juice.
Dennis Prager sparked outrage by saying there was undoubtedly many nice slaveholders. If you'd been invited to one of their homes, you would have been treated beautifully.
They were
That
so
Dennis
nice,
Prager
but
dude. Huh?
they didn't tell you you can go.
Huh?
They were so nice, but they didn't tell you could go. They didn't pay you a wage, or
Well, he meant they was nice to other white people.
oh, okay.
He was trying to, I guess he was trying to make the point, there were people who you would consider nice who were slave holders. So I guess you're trying to make it seem that personality don't dictate who would be okay with it or not okay with it. So the nice people were also slave run holders. And keep in mind, he also used this to say, it's the Democrats who were the slavers. So they were nice. They're considered nice now, but they were slavers back then. So it shouldn't matter if someone like you or wants to be around you or speak nicely to you. What about their intent towards you?
Mhm.
But when he said this, he just go, that PragerU company or media company, whatever you want to call it,
Oh, the one Candace Owens be on.
they purposely just try to be a opposite thinking company. Whatever it is, they just make a video saying the opposite with half truths and all that other stuff. Okay, now we get into the black man problem.
Tone is still talking about that hashtag
Boycott.
boycott the woman king.
Yeah. So this movie obviously has been released. The first weekend it made 19 million.
Is that good?
I don't know. During the
I guess
pandemic,
according to today's standards, after the pandemic,
Yeah,
that would be seen as
I think it would be considered good. I don't know how much they spent to make it, so we got to see. But what the calls to boycott the woman king are really saying?
ooh. Now this is a she's Nigerian, right?
She's African.
She's African. I always say Nigerian.
Yeah, you don't know why you always.
You know why I say that? I'm gonna say Nigerian.
Okay.
This is not a black American woman that said this.
Okay. Now keep in mind the picture they showed was the woman beating up two African men. So you already know where this shit is going. No, this op-ed contains mild spoilers for the woman king. All right. Imagine my excitement as a black woman named for a controversial African queen to see a Hollywood film about a fearless unit of women warriors committed to protecting the West African kingdom of Dahomey for over 200 years. Inspired by the true events, The Woman King has directed by Gina Prince Bythewood and produced by Academy Award-winning actress Viola Davis, who also stars in veteran actress producer Mario Bello. And highly anticipated, the film earned $19 million last weekend during the debut of the domestic box office. So clearly, I was not the only one in my enthusiasm. The film tells the tale of a Goji, the most powerful all-women army in the world history, their unparalleled commitment to their country, to each other, and King Gizo, played exceptionally by John Boyega. But there are calls to boycott the film because the critics, even though it's not calling for the boycott, it underplays the role played by the Dahomey Kingdom and the Atlantic slave trade. In their eyes, the fictional film inspired by true events doesn't tense out enough information about a horrific history, the kidnapping and sale of Africans by the Dahomey and Oyo Kingdom. That is, in the film's narrative arc, a subplot, while the main storyline centers a group of badass African women living, loving, and laboring together to ensure that people remain free. How is it about
How they gonna remain free when they selling people?
They capturing and selling people? But all right, the period of Dahomey's most intense involvement in the slave trade included the trafficking of West Africans in the late 17th and 19th and early 18th century, primarily by taking prisoners who were then enslaved abroad by European traders. The real King Gizo ultimately agreed with the end Dahomey's participation in the slave trade in 1852 under pressure from the British government. The Atlantic slave trade is hardly overlooked in the movie. However, at the beginning of the film, David's character admonishes the king for allowing the people and other Africans to be involved in the business. She spends the entire film talking about how it's wrong to sell your own people to others, alternatives and offers alternative to the barbaric practice. The climax of the film involves the Agoji freeing Africans who were about to be transported to the New World. So they made these women against the slave trade, even though they were the ones capturing people and selling them in real history. So they whitewashed them. They whitewashed the women then. Isn't it interesting that some of those calling most loudly for the boycott are black men? So
Tone is being very loud about it.
So it's only black men calling for it?
No, I've seen a couple women.
A couple? So you're saying it's
I seen a couple men, I only seen one that really, that's Tone.
That's just Tone.
And a handful of women, that was it.
Where were similar calls for the films like 12 Years a Slave, Django Unchained, and The Good Lord Bird. Films about the slave trade giving copious creative license to their in their portrayal of character storylines in the institution of slavery itself.
Well, 12 Years a Slave and Django Unchained
didn't make black people the slave traders.
Yeah, it was white people. Y'all always focus on what white people doing.
You could have told a story. If just because they lie and don't tell the whole story, don't mean you can lie and not tell the whole story. I don't understand. Why do you want to do what they do?
Because they want a hug.
So basically, that's the start of it. And she made it seem like it was only black men who were against the movie. So now we're gonna go here. Stacey Abrams has a surprising problem with black voters. Let me get. Okay. Stacey Abrams, who's running for office in Georgia. Now, in this title of this article, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they said surprising problem with black voters. But what they really were saying is black male voters.
Oh, they do the same thing when they tell you black and brown people are the most affected.
Yeah.
And then when they go in the article, the only thing they talk about is black people.
Yeah. What brown at? What's happening to them?
Where
that I should care about? At? Yeah. Well, why is it you focus on the black people in the article?
In this reference, the black man is black people, and the black woman is the brown people in this article.
Because all they're trying to convince the vote for them is black men. All right.
Look at Stacy.
Throwing up the C. You Crip?
Yeah, she cripping. She got to get black men at all costs. She been doing the damn Crip game. She game banging.
Game banging for votes.
She riding on, but she got on red though. So
hey, what's going on? Both sides.
Damn.
She want the Bloods and the Crips. Throwing up the C wearing red. What's up? All right. As Stacey Abrams took to the stage at a recent campaign stop, one person in the crowd at the Atlanta event was at the top of the mind. Daddy, stand up, Abrams said as her father, Robert Abrams, was showered with applause before the audience of several hundred people. Let me tell you something.
She went and got her
This woman went and got her daddy. She went and got her daddy to bring so that she can campaign. She campaigning with her father. You don't understand.
Wouldn't you say that's a beautiful thing?
Listen. Do you know how, I don't want to call it desperate, but it is. Do you understand how scared you are that you might lose? How much you're trying to pander to go get your father?
Is it desperate or is it marketing?
What's the difference?
It's differences.
What's the difference?
They said she ain't desperate for your vote.
Oh, she is.
Would like to have your vote.
At this point, we can say she is. She definitely.
She would like to have the black man support.
She would like it. Okay. She said, "I am not a black man, but I've been raised by one." That's the opposite of what we've been hearing. We had a lot of black men who was, "I'm not a black woman, but I was raised by a black woman."
And they say that?
Who say that? Who don't say that? When niggas pander, they do the same thing.
Oh, I ain't know they was out here doing that too.
Yeah, they pander. She said, adding, "And I'm always going to say that if a black man stand with me and vote for me and work with me, we can change the future of Georgia." You know, in 2020, when they pull those stunts they pull, when they went and got strippers to tell you about voting, when they got on national television and said that you need to get in line, that if you don't vote the way they want you to vote, it's because you're stupid, selfish, all kind of stuff. To see them in 2022 changing their whole messaging. They're still saying some of this stuff. It's like, man, did you learn something? I don't think you did.
No,
I think
they didn't learn nothing. They just wanted to vote.
I think you see the tide is starting to turn a little bit. And you seeing these people, because, they complain about all these dudes, these black men with these podcasts.
Out here with podcasts.
And it ain't about the podcast. It's about you giving your opinion on things.
Niggas went on Amazon, bought a damn mic, stand,
Table,
laptop, table, chair.
And they've been going ever since. We here.
We here.
We got our own platform now. I ain't got to watch television and hear you call me a piece of shit. I can get on internet and say I'm not. That's all I could do. That Abrams would need to hold an event designed to garner more support among black Georgians in the final stretch of her campaign for governor is emblematic of one of the more surprising and for Abrams troubling developments in the race. In 2018, Abrams came with 55,000 votes, within 55,000 votes of defeating Republican Brian Kemp. Keep in mind, Brian Kemp was a nobody then. She lost to a man who had no profile.
Brian Kemp saying he just a nobody. What's the name of that song?
I'm just a bill.
No, it's a gospel song.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It's I'm just a nobody who's something.
I don't know. Do you remember? So he was a nobody in 2018, and he beat her by 55,000 votes. But they see that as a victory for them because she only lost by 55,000 votes. But she had more money behind her and a bigger profile, and she lost to him.
Oh, she had people like Bloomberg.
So it really should be looked at as a negative. He has a track record now. Whether you agree with his track record or not, I don't know. People in Georgia, y'all gonna have to,
We don't fuck with Georgians. They'll correct you in the comment section.
But the point is, anybody who voted for him in 2018, they now have a record with him. He's been in there since 2018, whether he did stuff they liked or didn't. More than likely, he's going to keep a lot of those people. And matter of fact, he's probably going to grow his base.
He should have already grown his base.
Well, I'm saying, this voting season. He thanks to a surge of voters in black Georgians. She energized voters of color when she skipped midterms with the liberal. She energized voters of color who often skipped midterms with the liberal platform and history making appeal to become the first black governor in state history. In 2022, however, the Democrats is struggling to solidify support with African-American voters she must mobilize to win the rematch. A recent Atlanta Journal-Constitution poll understood her difficulties, showing she has 79% of support from black voters. While that might appear to be lofty numbers, Democrats typically poll at least 10 percentage points higher with black voters. Among black men, Abrams' support dips to 75%, with an additional 1/5 backing Kemp and 6% undecided. Now, it's funny how when they went to the black men breakdown, they made sure to include the ones who support Kemp and the ones undecided. So they're making it seem like this number should include these. It shouldn't be about whether or not they agree with her policies. They should just automatically, they should be here. It's no abnormality. Other recent polls have indicated Abrams is lagging support among voters of color, and Kemp is notching double digits backing from black Georgians in a string of surveys released this week. Compounding Democratic concerns of AGC polls show that 30% of black voters give Kemp a positive approval rating. If something isn't broken, we don't need to try and fix it. I agree with Kemp's policies, and I like where his state is going, said John Frenso. That name, I don't know. That's typically the name of a Haitian person, but I don't know. An accountant from Upson County who is among the black men supporting Kemp. It's really not about Stacey Abrams. It's more about the governor's agenda. Nor is the dynamic unique to Abrams and the U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock. The state's first black senator faces similar difficulties with the November matchup against Herschel Walker, a former football star who also is black. His campaign has followed a different strategy and it hasn't tailored events garnered toward making up the lost ground of voters of color. While Abrams supporters can take solace in the same poll showing 10% of black voters remain undecided, giving her an opening to expand her edge, her campaign isn't taking the trend lightly. So they went through and they had this campaign and she had t-shirts made. She got t-shirts made saying, "Black men for Abrams." Do y'all understand?
She looked adorable on the picture, though.
She looked adorable. Now, this black dude says she understand him, but basically, the point I'm making is they're starting to change their messaging because they need these dudes' votes. Like I said, she said earlier this year that a couple weeks ago, she said that if black men vote for me, I'll win. Which is really her way of saying if I lose, it's because black men didn't vote for me. She's putting the onus completely on black men.
Well, I don't know why, because she going to lose.
You think it's a foregone conclusion?
She going to lose. Unless
exactly.
they pull a rabbit out of hat.
Oh, yeah, the magic trick. We're gonna pull a magic trick because, man, they pulled one last time. Because at 12 o'clock, them heels was clicking. All we know is at 12 o'clock, things changed.
It sure did. It kept me up all night long.
It turned into that pumpkin turned into a.
I was tossing and turning and saying, Jesus.
The horse and the carriage came at 12 o'clock because we woke up and it wasn't the same when we went to sleep. Trailing Camp in Georgia, Stacey Abrams struggles for support of black men. Now, see, this article is more head up with it. Stacey Abrams' high-profile years-long work to remake the electoral landscape in Georgia led to a unique message as she geared up for the second attempt to win the governorship from her opponent, Brian Kemp.
Black men are needed. We on the front of articles saying,
"Oh wow, I feel so vulnerable.
So vulnerable. Take me where? Where you gonna take me, Stacey?
She's gonna take you to the mountaintop." She didn't win last time, but she knows how to win this time, 6 Democrats and former staffers insisted. The idea wasn't far-fetched. Abrams, who lost by 1.4% less than we know, but now it's a predictably tough race against Kemp again. Abrams' poll numbers suggest she has faltered to the exact point where supporters thought her campaign would be flexing its hard-won muscles. So you get the same point. Now look at this.
Look this.
Abrams' campaign released an internal poll showing 85% of support among black men, a figure that's still short of the 2018 performance by about 8 percentage points. The New York Times reported. That's the cute picture you're talking about. She's trying to look.
She look adorable.
She's adorable.
Looks so feminine. She went and got Pastor Jamal Bryant. You supposed to be recruiting black men.
His base is black women.
Gossip. Don't want to gossip. I ain't gonna say it.
Nah, say it. Pastor Freak.
Pastor Freak. He bringing the women for the black man.
Oh, he gonna bring them.
He bringing his congregation pretty much.
Abrams acknowledged how important the votes for black men are to her campaign. If black men vote for me, I win Georgia. We know that. Stacey and the fellas held a black-owned restaurant in Cobb County, Forks and Flavors. A month later, in September 11, New York Times opinion columnist Charles Blow with a piece titled "Democrats' Black Men Vote a Problem," where he cited polling numbers black support for Abrams as high as was not as high as it should be. The campaign seems to be focusing specifically on black men. We're considering this deficit.
Go back to Stacey picture. Now, don't that smile make her look totally different?
Completely.
Because most of her things, she don't smile. She normally have a frown or
a straight face.
A straight face. But her smiling makes her look totally different. That's why she chose that picture to go on her
trying to make herself seem softer.
Mm-hmm.
Two polls out Tuesday against Abrams behind the sizable margins, with a Marxist poll showing she's down by 6 points. Atlanta, we know. So once again, pointing out that it is necessary for just black men to vote for her. And then I'm gonna go to this one.
But show the conflict that she has, though. When you said that now that she making black men feel the focus, then I guess she just thinks she has what?
She just has the black woman vote in the bag, which is why pandering don't work. This is why you should not focus on just gender. You should focus on the entire group. Because if you focus on the gender, then you're gonna make the other side feel slighted. So now,
hold on. That's like when we asked them to do something for black people.
No. I said gender. You need the entire demographic.
But you have other demographics too.
Well, you're supposed to focus on the ones that's needed.
They're gonna feel slighted when you say, "Well, I'm running for office, but this is gonna be my primary focus."
They promise stuff to other groups. When they get in front of those LGBT, they promise stuff. When they get in front of
white people,
when they get in front of immigrants, they promise stuff. White people is tax breaks and stuff like that, and they always lose them because the Republicans gonna offer more than that. So it's different. So the same way they're now pandering she's pandering to the black dudes, you're gonna have the black women that's like, well, what makes you think you just already got my vote? What if you piss some of them off, and they vote differently? This is why you shouldn't do that.
Some of them are man haters.
Oh, you focusing on them black men.
I like this one.
Oh, this one here. And she tried to say, I'm not talking down. I'm not trying to talk down on black men, but you guys should just get in line.
Get in line with the black woman.
Which is crazy.
We know best.
That's backwards.
How many years?
What?
How many years we been under
martial law? We've been under martial law, baby.
They talking about 400 years.
Okay, hold on. I gotta show this one. Hold on. Damn cat. Hold on. Please load thing. I really want to show this one. I don't want to just sit here.
Well, like you're gonna be sitting here.
Huh?
Like you're gonna be sitting here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about this. This is getting worse and
Why
worse.
does it keep making that noise?
Huh?
You don't hear that tapping noise?
Yeah, this.
Please stop. You're too heavy-handed.
I got big hands. Big hands.
There's a difference between big hands and thick hands.
All right. Can I please get the sound? Just the sound. Just give me the sound, please.
You got some small hands.
And Granny started telling you stuff like that, boy.
No, just because I ain't got no thick ass fingers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Everybody in the damn family got diabetes and arthritis and bound to have a stroke.
Now hold on, you're going too far. All right, this is bad. I'm gonna have to do some I'm gonna have to do something with this because this is.
Roland made a really legitimate point here.
Oh, she stopped.
Okay, this should work. I'm just gonna have to play the sound. I'm not even gonna show the video. You just need to hear the sound anyway.
Roland made a really legitimate point here.
Why? Look, y'all. We be on the internet and it's no problem. Soon as Saturday comes, all of a sudden it's lagging, just bad. Hold on.
I will say, a lot of black.
Just read the comments and pause it if there's any comments.
All right. Why is it not loading?
It's not loading today. Can't see comments today. It's not loading. So, don't know why.
Demons.
Y'all give the devil too much credit.
Oh, it's the devil. It ain't the little red man. It's the red people.
Who the red people?
Keeper says she's desperate. Yeah, she's definitely desperate. Regina Harris, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody.
There you go. That's the song. That's the song.
And she started laughing. She LOL. See? There you go. Not into people telling me what to do, boycott this, censor that, take the Jabberwocky or die, thinking or oneself is still legal. Yeah, I agree. If people want to see the movie, go see it. Shouldn't group think all the things. Keeper, she's desperate. She definitely is. Yeah, I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about somebody who can save everybody.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
All right.
There's a black man that sing that song too, I believe.
Okay, all right. It should play now. Let's see.
Roland made a really legitimate point here. I will say, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored, and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed, so then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening. And
now,
right when she's about to say it, it paused.
So let me get this straight. She said the Kevin Samuels following, Tariq Nasheed following types. The man is dead.
And they still talking about him.
Listen,
He put a thrashing on their ass.
He gave them a hell of a year.
He gave them a hell of a year.
It was a hell of a year.
They perms was sweating out and every damn thing.
They was stressing. They wasn't stressing. They was stressing. I don't get it.
I gotta do this.
I mean, you literally could just not listen to him.
Yeah, y'all do. I mean, black women actually
Built his
elevated him
platform.
and gave him power.
And it wasn't power. It was a platform. I mean, I wouldn't say he had power.
He had power.
What power he had?
He had the power to make them shaking their damn boots.
Shaking in their boots. All right, let me play it now. Hold on.
To the other side, the oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat. But that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
Well, hold
Roland
on.
made a really legitimate.
There's several policies and stuff that Biden administration has passed is definitely harming black people.
This was crazy.
Are no benefit to black people.
She said, "Get in line." She said, "Get in line." And you just realize, only in our community are the men told to get in line. Like, there's already something for you to do. You're just a problem that need to be solved. You're just a problem. Why are you being so difficult? Why are you complaining? Just do this. Just do this. And it's like, dear God, I'm surprised we don't see just a reverse. I'm surprised niggas ain't trying to take over the Republican Party. Just vote 90% for Republican. I'm sick of y'all. I'm voting opposite. I'm surprised that ain't happening. Instead, and I probably the better option, they're just not voting.
Well, that's what she tried to imply.
Yeah.
Enjoying the oppressors, but it's
They're
not
not
happening
voting.
in a large amount of numbers.
They not joining the
It
oppressor.
should be happening in a large amount of numbers, but it's not.
So that's Nina Turner. She was like, this sounds like a lot like Shut Up and Dribble. No group should be told to fall in line. Voting is transactional. The corporatist wings of both parties are failing not only black men, but all working class folks. The system must be challenged. Now she turned into a little All Lives
well,
Matter.
See, that's the problem. Nina,
She went a little All Lives Matter. She stuck up, but
Nina.
she stuck up for him. But little All Lives Matter right there.
I be trying to give Nina passes because I like her, but she be dropping the damn ball.
Yeah, she definitely.
You didn't need to
fumbling.
include that last sentence that you did, but you have to do that
Because
because
she's a politician.
you're a politician and you work with them damn
With the progressives.
Turkish. What are they?
Turkish.
What's the name?
Young Turks. Yeah.
The Young Turks.
Which is funny because that's a name that is kind of sided with some terrorists who did some heinous crimes. But it is what it is.
Nina, we need you to come back to the light.
Or the dark. All right. This is the numbers they got together. They're saying, you see right here, Kemp, Abrams, Walker, Warnock. Yeah. So, she's pretty desperate. I also want to show this. She did an interview a while ago with The Root. Up the Root. All right. She did an interview where she was asked about reparations.
And
And
she
of
handled
course-
it quite well.
Huh?
She handled it very political.
Very, very political. But she says something that they all say, and you just wonder, why is a particular group always linked in with black people? When the second you start talking about reparations, it's like,
Well,
we got to talk. We got to, once again, we got to study this.
That
we got to compare
black
this.
people should receive reparations.
I believe
we want to let it
African
fall.
Americans.
Any comments? Check the comments while we waiting for stuff to load.
Nah. All right, let's be good now.
Believe that black people should receive reparations.
I believe African Americans, African Americans and Native Americans are entitled to reparations. We are the two communities who were legally disenfranchised from the inception of this country, and we are the two communities who had legal structures that were put in place for such a long period of time that our ability to achieve and access opportunity at a level that was commensurate with the rest of America was just not available.
As you're thinking about running for whatever office you decide eventually, is that going to be a part of your plan in regards to formulating what reparations could look like for us?
I think that we have to have a conversation about what reparations should look like, and that shouldn't be the domain of a single person.
Politics, boy. She played it all smooth. But I shouldn't dictate what it is. It's not my place. We need this to be a discussion. for the greater group.
Well, how many discussions we gonna have, lady?
Yeah, it's crazy. But once again, they always feel the need to bring up Native Americans.
Well,
It's like white, the black politicians, they always like, the Native Americans.
well, I've said this before. What is left for you to give the Native Americans? The only reparation left for you to give them is get the fuck out of their quote unquote country, which I don't prescribe to that. Or you let them take over the government and they run the United States of America.
Exactly. The only way you can give Native Americans reparations is to give them back the country or give them.
And they're not giving them back the country.
Exactly. Regina Harris said black women and black men do treat each other like children versus adults. Both are guilty of always telling the other one what, where, when, how, and why. With others, we flow easily on the bandwagon. Oh, yes. Travis got a story.
What?
How we treat each other versus other demographics. People trying to be the only black person in the group. And when another black person arrived.
Oh, I got a story. I remember when I first moved to Seattle, I took on a little part-time job as a server. And mind you, it was mainly Asian people. And then it was a couple sprinkle white people.
Yeah.
It was there was an African girl.
Yeah.
And it was a sister there. Now, everybody, everybody liked me, but I felt she didn't like me. She didn't really speak to me.
Yeah.
Because I used to joke around and make impersonations of people and stuff and have them cracking up. And it reminded me of the episode of Key and Peele,
yeah.
when you can only have one black person.
That's the cool person.
That's the cool person.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the black man came in, she saw it as a threat because she was like, well, I've been the only black person here this whole time, and now he coming in. And that's crazy.
Crazy.
That she didn't see me as an ally for us to be able to work together and
be able
get
to have
through the work day with one another.
Yeah.
She saw me as a threat
to a friendship
which is crazy.
that she want. Yeah.
Now I can say there's some positive things too. I had an employee who was an older black woman, and we still speak to this day.
Yeah.
Like weekly, and she had my back throughout everything.
Yeah. You had a tornado
she let me know
too.
Everything that was going on, she had my back throughout it all.
You had a tornado too.
Huh?
The tornado.
Oh, Hurricane Katrina. Damn. Her name was Katrina. Her name was Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff.
She was plotting on my damn job the whole time.
They hated that dude big time. Travis picked the best slaves for the back-breaking labor. He won't pick the bunnies.
What'd he say?
George said Travis picked the best slaves for the back-breaking labor. He won't pick the bunnies. Hey, I guess you're talking about we had that conversation about who you about the Herm Air was getting traded on by staff, and you saying how you make sure you hire people who fit who you want to be there.
Yeah, you gotta fit who you want to be there.
He said you hire the black slaves, not the bunnies, to do the hard labor.
Hire the black slaves
to do the hard labor, not the bunnies. Oh, he's trying to flip it. Instead of saying you hire black people, or you hire the black people to do the hard labor, but you don't want to hire the white women to do the hard labor. You make the black women do it. George, you got to chill out. Stacey Abrams faces backlash for claiming 6-week fetal heartbeat is manufactured sound.
That was some crazy shit she said. That was crazy.
She's saying that's all fake. Isn't they just creating this so that they can control women's bodies? I'm like, what? And obviously in this article, they went through and said, no, the 6-week heartbeat is real. A woman said, I literally heard my baby's heartbeat.
And that's misinformation, disinformation.
Yeah, shouldn't she be kicked off social media for that? Or shouldn't it be a fact check?
What platform did she put it on?
When she said it in an interview. Or one of her rallies or whatever. And remember she sat down with those black men and to discuss the what's necessary for the community and what they want. And she brought up abortion.
So black men want abortion.
She brought it up. She was like, abortion. They was like, yeah.
Numbers are low. We don't want abortion. They're saying we only 13% of the population.
We went down. We were 14.
Do we need to kill any more black babies? We could be about 40, 50% by now.
Shit, we probably is. They're probably lying. Abrams tries to focus her rematch with Kemp in Georgia on abortion. I don't know if that's a good plan, but it might be. The Roe v. Wade thing happened, so they've been using that as a political talking point for them.
What?
Roe v. Wade, it getting taken down. Now they can say, hey, vote for us, and we'll bring back legal.
Well, that's not a policy for that interests black men.
There's
Wade.
some black dudes are definitely interested in it because a lot of dudes out here, you know, being
Are they getting paid?
No. It's a lot of dudes out here who, you know, slinging and danging, and they want somebody. They don't want to have to deal with the responsibility of a child. So,
man, let's be honest. We know a whole bunch of niggas out here slinging and danging. Got kids. They don't give a damn.
I'm saying someone want to have access to abortion.
I don't know no black person that says they wanted their kid to be aborted. Black men.
I mean, I don't know nobody who said that. You're right. I've never heard nobody say that, but
Or black woman.
yeah, I've never heard anybody say that, but you don't know, man. Once the baby is born, I would imagine they change people's, you know.
Not on the internet.
The internet.
Real life.
In real life, that stuff don't happen because, you know, in real life you get checked. Regina Harris, I bet that story you just shared, Travis, with Eddie West versus FBA versus all the other names, except are you not alone? You're not alone.
Well, no, she was black American. The girl was black American.
Well, you said the other woman was African.
Yeah, she was African. I mean, she didn't really talk. She didn't, you know.
Yeah. VP Harris promotes abortion at National Baptist Convention. I'm not going to show this. I'm just going to say, how do you go to a Baptist convention and use it to promote abortion and you don't get dismissed? What is going on?
You know, I've been asking for weeks, where is Kamala Harris?
Where is Kamala Harris?
Where is she? You know, whenever her and Angela Rye get missing, I get worried about those two out here, you know. Alone, being vulnerable. I get worried, you know.
Kamala, yeah, they kind of, about 2 months ago, I would say, they kind of made her take a step back, and it's so bad, they would rather have Biden at the forefront.
I can't wait to show that video.
They would rather have Biden at the forefront.
Shaking hands with the air.
He got lost on stage.
He always lost.
And it's just like, why we keep acting like this ain't what it is? Like,
you know what? The biggest story should be how the president is suffering from alleged dementia.
Exactly. That's the
not
story
about Trump getting lawsuits and bringing up. It should be about our president is incompetent. That's what it should be about.
It's an international story that they're just not covering. It's just, it is what it is. He makes mistakes. That's all. Apparently.
No, you don't make no mistakes shaking the damn air. Shaking hands with the damn air. There ain't no mistake. That his? Well, we know it ain't no guardian angel. He ain't shaking hands with no guardian angel.
Demon he's seen.
That's a damn demon.
Pregnancy test condoms part of Family Dollar's massive product recall. Numerous personal health and hygiene products are included in a massive recall for the popular discount store chain Family Dollar. A store's failure has been blamed for the voluntary recall issued by Family Dollar. According to the post shared on the Food and Drug Administration's 47 affected products were kept at incorrect temperatures while being stored prior to the sale at store locations, necessitating the recall. A similar recall was issued by the company over the summer.
Is there, Regina, is there Family Dollar stores in Seattle? I've never seen a Family Dollar.
Isn't there one down there?
That was Dollar. That was a dollar store.
Which is their competing store. They brought that up. I thought, ain't they owned by the same people?
I thought it's probably owned by the same
like
person.
Pepsi
and they
and Coke?
Competing against one another.
Yeah,
it's
Pepsi
like
and Coke.
which brand is giving me more money?
Yeah, Pepsi versus Coke. It's the same company that own. What you mean? 2 separate recalls were issued on Friday, citing the same improper storage reason. One involving 41 over-the-counter products, and the other involving 6 Colgate products. One including a variety of sexual health and recreation items, including Trojan, Lifestyle, and Skin brand condoms, as well as KY brand lubrication fluid. Pregnancy tests produced by Clear Blue and Berwick, denture care products from Perlident. Gotta get closer.
Skin sounds like a sketchy brand.
And we get it. Family Dollar. Dollar General is not Dollar. The dollar store is no longer the dollar store. Didn't they go up 22 cents?
I thought it was 25.
25 cents. So now nothing in the store is $1. Everything.
Well, with inflation.
Yeah, they said they went up because what was going on. So you got to change the name then. You're not dollar store no more.
The dollar and 22 are 25 cent store.
Just put $1.25 store. Not socially distant. New York rates of sexually transmitted disease climbed during the pandemic.
New York,
and
that's
beyond.
North Carolina.
I'm sorry, it's New York. North Carolina rates of sexually transmitted disease climbed during the pandemic and beyond.
Our aunt been calling and telling us some of the stuff she be seeing out there. I guess
they
she
walking around holding hands and
she talked about a lot of stuff. I was like, really?
wow.
That's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? New data from the Center of Disease Control and Prevention.
That's our dad.
Yeah, released last week showed that during 2020, the height of the pandemic, when many were purportedly staying away from others, rates of sexually transmitted infections climbed sharp. Now think about this. This is how weird this pandemic was. As I said, during the pandemic, I thought.
Hey, hold on, wait 1 second. Monkeypox has been in the news, and now STDs. They talking about how it's
No. They saying it's been up since the pandemic, but they're tying this to the full pandemic, not just the monkeypox. This is how they're tying it together.
Well, we saw some videos of people out there
in the streets getting butt naked.
Did I tell the story what I saw? Or no?
Oh, you didn't tell it on here.
Oh, George say I'm lying if I tell the story, so I'm not gonna tell
George,
you guys
we
the
be
story.
saying some shit up here,
so George, because George is gonna say I'm lying if I told the story. So I don't want to be accused of telling lies.
He said, we have a dollar store here, but not that brand. Duke, I watched Pastor Stephen Darby's The Gatekeepers video, and in that he stated the Baptist church was part of the Boule agenda. Yeah.
We love Pastor Darby.
And then George Wilkins said Darby is Boule. George, chill out.
Whoa.
Darby, chill out, George.
George is probably putting out that disinformation on Pastor Darby.
Like Prince or like Michael Jackson can't speak up against the hand that blessed you when you feel it's time to redeem oneself. Oh, y'all, look, man. Look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I look at stuff deeper like everybody else. And not everybody who died was sacrificed. Pastor Darby didn't die.
He had kidney failure. We
like
have living proof evidence. Our mother died of kidney failure.
Yeah, the renal look, man. Not. I did see when he passed away. A whole bunch of people got on YouTube and said they killed him. He was telling the truth. It's like, no.
If you see his video, if you see where he started and what his weight was when he started and what his weight was when he died, that should kind of let you know that he was.
Yeah, he had kidney failure. He was going through dialysis. But yeah, George, I don't agree with that. I don't think the pastor was Boule because he wasn't on the stages that those other Boule people was on.
Well, to be Boule, he would have to have come from
college.
A high
background.
High background. That means his family had money. And from what he described himself as,
he was a former drug dealer.
He had no damn money, so you might mean that he's a Freemason.
Yeah, he was a former drug dealer.
But the people who have accused him of stuff say that he was into witchcraft because he did talk about him visiting West Africa
and seeing stuff. He didn't say he was a part
things,
of it.
which I believe is real.
Yeah, he's the water spirits and all this stuff.
The Marine Kingdom.
Yeah. Virginia said,
so if you want to call him a Freemason, call him a Freemason, but don't call him a Boule.
Yeah, he said, thanks for clearing it up. Pastor Darby's, because YouTube was saying he had died under mysterious circumstances. No, he had, as far as we know, obviously the internet, but we knew what he said. He was on dialysis, yeah.
Yeah, he talked about how he used to be going to city and being in the back of, I guess he had got one of the vans where you can lay down and he would do
a mobile dialysis machine.
He would do his dialysis on
the road, yeah.
On the road.
Yeah, my mom used to do it, yeah. Well, not on the road, but you could do it at home.
You could carry your machine around with you.
Yeah, I had to carry that machine across the country, y'all.
Pretty heavy.
When we flew from North Carolina to Washington, I had to carry that on the plane. I had to carry that around the airport. It was heavy. And I remember one time we would get on the plane.
Boy,
and,
I
was trying to
You strong.
I was trying to put it up in the cupboard on the plane, and the woman said, "Let me help." And she grabbed it and tried to pick it up. She said, "Ooh, you got it." Oh yeah. She said, "You got that one." But yeah, new data for the Center for Disease Control showed that during what I'm about to say was it's crazy that during the pandemic I thought we were gonna see more kids, but instead we saw more divorces and breakups. But we saw a rise in STDs.
Yeah.
So that people were being more promiscuous during the pandemic.
And they're still promiscuous.
Which I guess makes sense. People were alone more, at home more, so they got more bored and sought after sex more.
Or that dark matter.
You would think they would be in more relationships during the pandemic, but it's like during the winter. A lot of people during the winter, you talk about snuggle season. But no, during the pandemic, people separated more and just went for the frugal, not frugal, I'm sorry.
If you have been together all year round, all year long, it was no need to hibernate because you had been with that person all year. So it's just like, I'm tired of you.
Yeah, I get the hell away from me. But now, STIs climbed sharply. That was after STIs in the U.S. had reached an all-time high for the 6th consecutive year in 2019, the agency said. Now, new preliminary data from the CDC shows that in 2021, rates of diagnosed STI cases continue to increase during the second year of COVID-19 pandemic with no signs of slowing. North Carolina not only saw high rates throughout the pandemic, but for chlamydia, a common STI that can result in scarring of women's reproductive organs and subsequent infertility, the state outpaced most of the rest in the country. North Carolina's chlamydia rate was at 616.3 cases per 100,000 people. Damn. Jesus Christ. For every 1,000 people, 600 had chlamydia.
They didn't Pacific. Oh, yeah, they did. Sorry, I didn't hear you
Damn.
say that.
What the hell going on in North Carolina?
Well, at least you can get rid of that. There's some stuff you can't get rid of.
Yeah, penicillin.
Penicillin ain't gonna get rid of no damn herpes. Penicillin ain't gonna get rid of no damn HIV or AIDS.
During the, I was listening a while ago, I remember Judge Joe Brown was saying, back then in the 70s, we didn't have to worry about all these diseases. You get something, you go home and drink some penicillin, take some penicillin, you're good.
Well, y'all the reason why there is judgment now.
1980 shut all that down.
The judgment.
Gonorrhea and syphilis increase with drop in chlamydia is likely due to decreased screening. New data. This is back in this is 2022, April 12th. New data suggests STDs continue to increase during first year of the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is the CDC saying it.
Why they keep switching from STI to STD?
Yeah.
Why y'all change it to STI anyway?
Well, the same way they changed the UFO to unidentified flying object to something else. They changed the name of it.
You comparing the UFO to damn.
I'm saying they changed the name of stuff, man.
So the UFOs out here got STIs and STDs.
They might
too?
be giving them to people. Who knows? Pro-life states will file a lawsuit against Joe Biden's illegal plan to turn VA hospitals into abortion clinics. Damn. So anything government controlled, they're gonna turn it into a clinic.
They're gonna turn it into a house, sacrificing house.
They're gonna turn it into
Baal.
An altar.
An altar to Baal.
Now this is the last one we talk about in this segment. So LL Cool J appears to scold DJ Akademiks for calling older rappers dusty.
This is a tether.
Now
calling Black Americans dusties.
So
which just mean black.
Yeah, it just means dusty means black, which is crazy. You dusty motherfucker.
You black mother black.
That's all it means. But DJ Akademiks was saying that the pioneers of hip hop don't look like they're pioneers because they look broke. He was saying they broke and dusty and how none of them got no money and how you a pioneer or something. And people don't believe that you actually a pioneer because when people see you, the people behind you or around you look like they're doing better than you. So how you a pioneer?
Which was stupid.
Which is crazy. And so LL Cool J came out and said it doesn't matter if somebody was able to make millions or nothing off of hip hop. If they help build it, they help build it, and you should give them their credit. And I said this about DJ Akademiks. I watched him like years ago. I used to watch his content. And I supported him in a way because he was an outsider talking about the industry and how he was on the few black and I use the word black. He's one of the few non-white. I'll say that. How about that?
But no, don't change your language up for me.
He was one of a few black people that was talking hip hop. His channel blew up. All those people you see making YouTube videos with memes playing in the background while they discuss the topic, that's him. They got that from him. He was one of the first people I saw do that. He used to talk about the war in Chirac, and the people in Chicago didn't like him, seemingly not mocking, but making a storyline out of the crimes and the murders that's happening there. And I used to say, well, you okay with white people talking about it, but a black person talk about it is wrong.
Y'all always comparing yourself to white people.
It's not about comparing. It's the point of they are okay with certain things from other groups, but they don't want you to do it.
You talking about news coverage?
Yeah.
Well, it's the job. I mean,
it's his job.
He's a journalist.
What's a journalist? So are we not borderline journalists?
Well, you most certainly think you're a journalist.
I don't think I'm no journalist. Don't do that.
You most certainly think you're a journalist.
But anyway, he was able to build his own platform, and I was like, that's cool. But over time, he's not really moved forward in his thinking. He was accused of not caring about hip hop then, and it seems like he still don't care.
Well,
He
just shit on somebody you support.
I support. I mean, I don't say I support him. I used to watch.
You no
his
longer
content.
support him, or do you still support him?
I don't watch. No, I don't watch his stuff no more. No,
Why?
because
Oh, you outgrown him.
I wouldn't say outgrown. It's just I don't agree with some of the stuff he say.
Like this?
Like stuff like this, when he just say stuff about certain people. It's like once he gained his money, he became a little more of himself. I guess you say he became more of himself.
Arrogant.
He didn't change. He became more of himself. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is.
It's not unfortunate for somebody to show who they are. It's a great thing for people to show who they are. It's never unfortunate.
Prager is a cult. Shake my
Who?
Prager you.
Oh,
yeah, they are. They're like they change history by giving small facts mixed and turning it. It's crazy. But they were able to build a platform so quickly because the other side, the left, they lie about stuff too. And they do come off like they have a script for everything they're gonna say before they say it. Like Candace Owens and all them, before they say stuff, you already know what they're gonna say because of who they're
I don't think
associated
she
with.
reading off no script.
Regina said, y'all are definitely journalists of the conspiracy analyst kind. I love it. Thank you very much. See?
Look at Dude gonna accept that compliment.
Hey, I accept compliments, homie.
I'm gonna say I did not go to college to get the proper certification to be a journalist.
Man, ain't nobody going to college for no. Let me tell you something. If you go to college to be a journalist, you are a sucker.
Damn, dude, you wait a minute now. You can't be out here calling people who suckers who actually went and got their degree in this. Now,
You
don't
are
do
a
that.
sucker.
Don't be disrespectful.
That's the truth.
You gonna mess around and get your ass whooped. That's
They
what's
can-
gonna
hey,
happen.
look, they ain't one ass whoop ain't the only one out there. They didn't make it. They didn't make much sense as I wanted to say it. That didn't sound like I wanted to say.
I'm gonna let y'all sit and
I was trying to say
think.
the Lord didn't make one ass whooping, but yeah.
think about it.
Texas social media censorship
Is
law
that a
goes.
riddle?
Huh?
Were you trying to be a riddler?
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Texas social media censorship law goes into effect after federal court lifts block. At least in Texas, this is a good thing. It ain't gonna happen here in Washington. Definitely ain't gonna happen in Cali.
Ain't gonna happen nowhere on the West Coast.
Nah. So the ruling Friday from the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals likely means the case, which could have wide implications for online speech, will go before the U.S. Supreme Court again. A Texas law prohibiting large social media companies from banning users' posts based on their political viewpoints will go into effect after the federal appeals court on Friday lifted a block placed on the statute. NetChoice and the Computer and Communications Industry Association sued Texas after the law, known as House Bill 20, was passed last year, arguing that the internet companies have First Amendment right to curate content posted on their platforms and decide which type of speech they saw fit to be here. I got a question. I talked about it earlier. Is internet a utility now? Is the internet like you need the internet for information? Is it comparable to electricity?
Don't talk about utilities. I think about bills.
Is the internet not a bill?
It's a bill.
Exactly. So is the internet comparable to electricity, water?
A need?
Yes. Phone. You need internet. I think it's a utility. You need it. That's why they're giving it to you.
Yes, you need internet, but are we saying you need it in a way?
I'm going to get to that. So that means, do you need social media?
I don't need social media.
What? You use social media?
Yes, I do.
So you need it?
No, I don't need it. I can stop
So
using
you're telling me right now, YouTube
could go.
You didn't have YouTube right now. What would you do?
Meditate in prayer.
No, what would you get your information? YouTube, Twitter,
I get my prayer
Instagram,
from the spirit.
TikTok, Facebook. They got rid of all of it.
Information from the spirit.
They got rid of all of it. Where would you get your information from? I'm serious. I'm serious. You need social media. So
I just get it from you. You stay on there all the time.
I don't stay on all the time. But should it now be a situation where these social media companies cannot ban you? They can't ban you.
I think some stuff. So you're saying nothing should be banned? It should be free speech?
Look, I know we're going with this.
Okay, so explicit things should be put out on the internet.
No, crimes should not be able to be posted. If it's a crime,
Well,
no.
what is considered a crime?
Committing a crime, anything that breaks the law.
So showing explicit stuff that's a crime.
I said that stuff that's a crime.
So being explicit on the internet.
Well, you
is
say
not a
explicit,
crime.
what you mean?
You know what I'm talking
Put it
about?
out there.
Showing ass and stuff on the internet.
No, it's not a
Okay.
crime.
Just scroll through it.
Maybe put they have settings on the social media where you can not see that stuff. Explicit content. You can literally hit the button and it won't show. That's why you'll see.
I know you can.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Well, I think it. Yeah, you're right.
If you do on all platforms.
Okay, so that solves that problem.
That solves that problem. Now, if you see that stuff, you want to see it. Let's be real. Sometimes, stuff slip through. You got to get up out of there, but stuff, especially on Twitter. Let me say this about Twitter.
That's why I do not go on Twitter.
Twitter, you can have this stuff blocked, and they'll still find a way to.
I do not
People
go
will
on
find a way
Twitter.
to slip it through. So I will be honest about that. I call for a boycott, and I'm a black man that love the bunnies that would never act like act like the homies.
Who, George?
Act like the homies. So act like a man. Oh, George, I see what you're doing there. So yeah, I believe you shouldn't be banned from social media. Pentagon opens sweeping review of clandestine psychological operations. Complaints about U.S. military influence operations using Facebook and Twitter have raised concern in the White House and federal agencies.
I thought we talked about this last week.
No, we talked about a story like this last week when the Twitter person came out and admitted that the CIA, a person who was a part of the China, a Chinese spy, was a part of Twitter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The last month, these social media companies have been admitting to you, look, man, we are controlled by the CIA, FBI, and companies in other countries. They've been saying it for a reason.
They're just slowly.
I think social media is dying, and they're about to move forward with something new. I think they wanted it to be the metaverse. But
You gonna go in the metaverse?
Huh?
You gonna go in the metaverse? How you gonna get your information?
There's other social media platforms. My point is they're not gonna be they're trying to make these other platforms not as big because Facebook is falling. Like, what's his name? The dude who runs Facebook just lost a chunk of money because Facebook is starting to fall down a little bit. The Pentagon has ordered a sweeping audit of how it conducts clandestine information warfare after major social media companies identified and took offline fake accounts suspected of being run by U.S. military in violation of the platform's rules. So why would a U.S. military need to control a profile account on Facebook and Twitter? Propaganda. The Undersecretary of Defense for Policy last week instructed the military commands that engage in psychological operations online to provide a full accounting of their activities by next month after the White House and some federal agencies expressed mounting concern over the Defense Department's attempted manipulation of audiences overseas, according to several Defense Administration officials familiar with the matter. The takedowns in recent years by Twitter and Facebook of more than 150 bogus personas on media sites created in the United States was disclosed last month by internet researchers in the Stanford Internet Observatory. While the researchers did not attribute the sham accounts to the U.S. military, two officials familiar with the matter said the U.S. Central Command is among those whose activities are facing scrutiny. Like others interviewed for this report, they spoke on a condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive military operations. So that means if they was doing it overseas, they was doing it here. So how many of these counts? How many of these counts are military, Pentagon operated, pushing forth all type of propaganda to get you to think a certain way? How about they want you to think about Russia a certain way, Ukraine, NATO? They controlling how you think when you listen to them
Trump,
blindly.
run.
Huh?
Nothing.
Huh?
It was something that popped up on the screen.
Oh yeah, Trump. FBI whistleblower shows how the agency is letting child predators off the hook to target Republicans. The House Judiciary GOP has released a letter indicating damning FBI policies that are putting children at risk in order to destroy the civil liberties of the Biden regime's opposition. New whistleblower disclosed indicated the FBI's Washington field offices handling of domestic violent extremism investigation relating to January 6 diverged from established practice in a way to overstate the national domestic violent extremism threat. One whistleblower has described how cases of ordinarily characterized by and labeled by the originating field office with leads cut to other fields offices for specific assistance in geographical location. The whistleblower alleged the FBI has not followed regular procedure with respect to January 6 cases. It continues. Making matters even worse, the FBI is drawing resources away from bringing child predators to justice in order to target Biden's political opposition and launch a domestic war on terror against American patriots.
Oh, I believe it.
So they're taking money away from investigating. Now, remember, didn't just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, they said they found a sex trafficking ring?
That was like 3 weeks.
3 weeks ago, the FBI, they found when they busted in Mar-a-Lago, and they released the story right behind it,
saying that they had
100 or something arrested, 107. No,
they found 100 something missing
children. Yeah.
Children.
And you go, oh,
how do you just find 100 something missing children? But
right after that story. So now they're saying they're taking money away from the investigating of these rings to go after the January 6 people,
which is it's so stupid. This insurrection shit is so stupid.
So crazy, bro. British pound plunges, bonds sink after government announces tax cuts. Sterling dropped as low as $1,084 after a program in tax cuts was unveiled in the House of Commons. The pound has been a precipitous fall against greenbacks this year, hitting levels this morning not seen since 1985. Man, it was 1984. So, Europe energy prices is going up. The pound is falling. It's getting bad out here.
It's going to be a cold winter.
It's been a long. Let me see if we're going to. It was rolling good for a little while. It was loading, as you can see. Now it's starting to slow down a little bit. I've been watching the Designated Survivor lately with
we watched
Sutherland, the virus, Russia, and Ukraine conflicts, also featured by Malik Yoruba, saves the day. They gets killed off in season 1. Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. We talked about that before. So Designated Survivor.
He was the captain. And they made the Asian chick on there, the
fighter,
the Mary Sue.
They made her. She was this great fight.
She was not. She was just like a regular smuggler detective.
She was like 5'5", 110 pounds,
whooping ass,
and she beating everybody up. And it's just like.
And what was really interesting,
and this black dude,
huh?
She brought up how they killed Malik Yoruba. It's like he was an actual agent on the field, and they made him useless
and made her the lead agent eventually.
And they killed him.
They put her at the same level as Europe's top.
His top official. His top.
He was like her. Was he a spy or something?
No, he was FBI. I think he was an FBI.
He was
CIA
top
agent.
tier over there, and they put her on the same level as him.
And then she ended up forming this bond with the president, becoming his secret spy, and she got to go underground.
That was a Mary Sue
But
character.
I know what she mean about the Ukraine thing, how the White House was blown up. There's a lot of stuff that happened in that show. Same thing with
our favorite House of Cards.
House of Cards. House of Cards looked like it is literally just made from real life. If you watch House of Cards, it reminded me so much of the Trump administration. It was crazy.
And the daughter, and it wasn't his daughter would be the wife to me.
Yeah.
In House of Cards, Ivanka. Or what's her name? I forget her Jewish name every time. What's her name?
I forgot her name too. I get to it. Banks dusts off lockdown plans. Yael Kushner. Yael, yeah. Banks dusts off lockdown plans to beat possible power blackouts in London. There's gonna be rolling blackouts in London. That happens in Africa, don't it?
You know, they said that, I don't know if it was last year or the year prior, they was expecting for there to be a month, 2 or 3 months of black outage in the United States.
And it didn't happen.
It did not happen. Thank God it didn't happen.
Yeah. Blackout. We saw what happened in New York when the power went out for that while. And they said it was wild in New York. People were stealing and committing all type of crime. People automatically go into panic mode when what they expect to happen can't happen. They flip that light switch and it don't come on. They get scared.
That's why niggas can't go to Africa.
This is why every time there's a threat of a storm, people go straight to the store and buy all the damn bread and eggs. And the milk and eggs, I'm sorry. Milk, bread, and eggs. I don't get it. Why do you feel the need to buy all the damn bread, eggs, and milk?
Starch, protein.
But you can buy other stuff. You don't need those 3.
Well, those 3 are the most important.
What you gonna do with the eggs if you ain't got no power?
I got a little stove back there. All I gotta do is put the propane in it.
You trying to slide it in like he's a survivalist.
So I can cook eggs.
You try to slide it in, y'all. Oh, I can survive. I got a mobile stove. Yeah, okay. You gonna fry eggs? Somebody gonna say,
Yeah,
gonna
let them
smell
come
it,
in here.
and they gonna come see
I
you.
told y'all.
Oh, you supposed to be getting it. We gonna have that thing on them. Kablow. All right.
I just wanted to smell it.
You ain't smelling nothing.
Well, you smelled it.
Then you dealt it.
Then put the damn corpse outside the door. Let them know what happened.
Damn.
That's what world we gonna be living in. We got to go back to medievals. They used to have their asses on sticks, and you come here, you get fucked up.
Scarecrows. Turn them into scarecrows. Damn.
This what happens when you smell eggs.
Target cancels more than 1.5 billion worth of orders in Q2 as it grapples with excess inventory. Hey man, you want some cheap stuff, man?
I'll go. Hey, I've been thinking about going to Target.
Bruh.
It's a Target downtown, 3rd Avenue.
So people not buying stuff because they trying to pay their light bill. As we showed a couple weeks ago, 20 million people, 20 plus million people are behind in their light bill. They ain't buying no damn ornaments and stands and couches and stuff. They're not buying picture frames and clothes. When people still buying clothes, but yeah.
Yeah. You need clothes on your ass.
But yeah, people not buying no random shit.
I just don't think people view buying that stuff as importance no more.
Well, right now, if shit get better,
it ain't gonna get better.
I'm just saying, if shit get better, they're gonna go right back to
pessimist
buying that other stuff too. All right, let me get it's starting to go better now. See, I wish the segment I wanted to go in on, it was lagging.
What segment? Stacy?
Yeah, now, because I was gonna say it was gonna go a lot
say
more.
what you gotta say about old.
It's too late now. We about to move on. But now I ain't want to lag. So yeah. So we talked about it already. Food supply shortage. Food supply stays tight as disappointing U.S. harvest adds to global challenges. So
how it's gonna get better with this shit going on?
So because of the Ukraine thing, you know, crops,
your wheat.
You got, you know, Russia. That's your fertilizers and stuff. We talked about the plant shutting down and
plant shut down.
Yeah,
plants being burnt down.
I'm talking about the fertilizer plants.
Oh,
and the places and the plants that deal with fertilizers being shut down throughout Europe and America. You know, they were burning down food plants and
not just in America,
and Canada and other places too. But also remember there was a bunch of flooding that happened in the Midwest the last couple of years, which has led to the crops not being able to be harvested correctly. And then you got droughts at the same. During the pandemic, all of a sudden we get droughts and floods and a bunch of viruses popping up out of nowhere. I ain't gonna say what that sound like.
Plagues, judgment.
Yeah, so it's like
the end.
But yeah, so that we might have we're going to have a food shortage at some point. Right now they're just covering it up so people don't panic. But
that's why people who be wasting food and throwing food in the garbage, you gonna wish you had that food.
Here you go.
You gonna wish you had that food to eat. I don't waste nothing. If it ain't good, doctor it up and add some shit to it.
Electric bills could increase 64% this winter in Massachusetts. National Grid warns. Natural gas heating customers could see 22 to 24% price hike. Damn.
I'm glad I live in the wonderful state of Washington,
the Northwest,
Seattle.
The Northwest is very good to us, and
where you get a light bill every 2 months. And
2 months, babe.
Between $80 and $120 every 2 months. It's just wonderful.
Some people paying $30. Americans should brace for high natural gas prices. Chevron CEO says. So the reason why the gas price is going to go up, because America is going to be sending it to Europe.
Well, they're helping their brother.
Huh?
They're helping their brethren. They're being a brethren to their.
Well, that's correct. Actually, you're right. It is their brethren. They wouldn't NATO. See, if Trump was in office. Oh man, the joke. See, this is the only reason I want to see Trump in office now. Is just I want to laugh. If Trump was in office, what do you think he'd be saying about them wanting to send gas to Europe? Pay me. He's gonna say, pay me. You gonna have to pay me a lot of money to get this gas.
Trump told them white folks, pay me.
Fuck you, pay me. Americans. Oh, I read this right here. Here we go with the bullshit. Legendary investor Stanley Druckenmiller warns there is a high probability the stock market will be flat for an entire decade.
Seems like they keep talking about 2030.
Yeah, they
just trying to get you to 2030. They said, Lord, They said, please, just 2030 get here so
Now,
we
they
can
ain't
get
say
rid of
Lord.
that.
They ain't say that Lord.
Well, there's several types of
There's
lords.
several different types of lords and gods. There's one of them.
They mythology. We know there's one. They have several.
Mark Zuckerberg loses $70 billion, sinking to 20th richest person in the world.
That man's
he was the richest person in the world for about what, 10 years?
That man's a robot.
15? Yeah, I don't know. When he drank that water at that committee meeting, he looked like he was a damn android. Like
Look at him.
Like he looked like he's like, oh, I'm supposed to blink now. Blink, blink. Like he don't. I need to drink water to look normal.
Skin look fake.
Yeah, he. Well, more than likely, what it is he on them drugs. He on that Adderall.
You can't say because he's a.
He don't care. He on that
He don't
Adderall
care.
and stuff. So his mind is just operating. You know, he's spazzed out all the time. See, y'all notice he always trying to get out of lawsuits and leave me on my own. Hello? He ain't gonna listen. He not gonna say nothing until I bring up the next article. Cause that's how they do you. That's how they do you.
Eric Adams.
Yeah,
And
Eric
some
Adams.
mandates.
That's a good man, ain't it? Putin warns West he isn't bluffing and Russia has lots of weapons as he orders partial mobilization to reserve troops to Ukraine.
Putin, keep playing your part.
So Putin has mobilized 300,000 reserve soldiers to go to the border or to go to the Ukraine. But here's the difference that's about to happen in Ukraine. U.S. has sent private warnings to Russia against using a nuclear weapon. I don't think nobody talk about the fact that we've seen the word nuclear war for the past 6 months and no one cares. The media and the government don't talk about nuclear war. It's not a good thing. You don't want to talk about that.
It just isn't real for some people.
Huh?
It just ain't real for some people.
Yeah, they're barely talking about it. Like, Putin keeps saying, look, man, if y'all attack Russia, nuclear weapons are an option.
Mother Russia.
And it's just like, they just keep doing what they're doing and no one's really challenging, like, yo, chill out. Chill out. You know, we got some of these people in America that's like, nah, I still got to rule my last couple of years. You're not going to take it from me. So, Putin announces partial mobilization, assures Russian security and nationwide address. In this address, he also pointed out the new territory that they're claiming. That this is a big deal because they're changing their border. Russia now has a bigger country. DPR, LPR, liberated zone of, can't say that word, Kherson regions embark on referendum vote. The same way Crimea had a vote a couple years ago where they voted democratically, whether or not you think it was, you know, up and up or not, they voted to be a part of Russia, Crimea. They're now doing that with more liberated zones, as they're calling them. This is TASS. This is a Russian news outlet. They're now having more referendum votes in the west part of Ukraine. Well, these countries are being, or these cities, shall I say, are being told to vote to be a part of Russia. Now, you see these red and yellow. That's the places that are having their votes go on. When Ukraine had their what they call it, offensive counteroffensive, where they took some land back, and everybody was looking at Russia like, you look kind of crazy. You lost some land to Ukraine. You're supposed to be the big bad Russia. Well, Vladimir Putin said the reason why we went back, we wanted to see how how NATO weapons work. And some people think that they were dropping back to these regions so that when the vote happened, the new red line is no longer the normal Russian border. It's now this. So now anything Ukraine do to this land is going to be considered attacking Russia.
Yeah.
So if they attack this, it can lead to Russia just saying all-out offensive against Ukraine. Because they could say you are directly attacking Russian territory. You have committed a act of war. So let's go ahead and send those, 600,000 more soldiers there. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of you in about 2 weeks. Do you think it's possible they'll use nuclear weapons? Or is this all just a play? Because this
right now, I'm going to say a play.
This happening is going to cause more food shortages and stuff like that. This is going to cause an effect towards the global economy for the next decade at least. Even if they saw what happened the last 6 months now, if they come up tomorrow with a treaty and get it together, for the next 10 years, this is going to have an effect on the global economy. And we know that they're trying to change the economy to another currency.
Make sure you get some rice.
Oh yeah, I got
beans.
rice.
Rice and beans, it'll stick to you.
He said, I got rice.
Don't get no fat back in
House of Cards was the Clintons too. See, that's a better comparison.
That is a better comparison.
That's a better
Bill
comparison.
and Hillary. Because
they got the, the body. We don't know about Trump's. We know about the Clintons.
That is a better comparison.
That's a way better comparison. Oh my God, and no disrespect, because they ain't bothering nobody, but Target downtown really seems like a third world country now.
Huh?
She said Target downtown like a third world country. Yeah.
It's like another world.
It's a different world. It's a different. Let me stop.
I mean, you got to be ready to throw hands when you go downtown.
Oh, it's dangerous. We don't talk about the stuff that have around this place often. But people get shot. People get shot.
People get shot on the north end, on a horror.
There was a shooting by the bus stop where a man rode up on two people, blasted them, and drove off.
That was on a horror.
Yeah. So, yeah, she get crazy.
Oh, she heard me say I might get stopped by the down. I did say I don't know if the one in Northgate is still open or not.
Yeah. Man-made end seems to me like man-made end seems like to me versus God's judgment. What's the same difference? The end is here because certain things are allowed,
Yes.
So it's true.
Some things are allowed.
It ain't got nothing to do with the medical either. Soon as Travis opened his mouth, Massa, like, nah, you not riding on me today. Travis hold Duke down. And I ran to the Bunnies party, and I'm George, what are you talking about?
What?
George, what are you talking about? I'll let him read right quick. George, oh Lord, Moscow to regard strikes at Donbas liberated territories as attack on Russia. So they're letting you know that if you attack these new lands,
is that Negro trying to do change a Bible verse?
I think so. I think he was. But he's saying if you attack those lands that are having a referendum vote right now and they vote to be a part of Russia, that will be an attack on Russia directly. So they got to see what happens with that. All right. Putin blasts U.S. attempt to preserve global domination. Well, it's not just the U.S. It's really the fall of the West in general.
Like a propaganda article. Putin blasts U.S. attempt to preserve global domination.
Well, he did. He's saying that they want to be the world police. And they have no more authority to be that.
You're not going to be the world police. China said they're going to be the world, but y'all want to.
Yeah, that's our cousins. That's their cousins.
Magog and Gog.
Huh?
I called them Magog and Gog.
Nah, that ain't who that is.
Well, we disagree on certain things.
We
disagree on certain things.
Exclusive. NATO chief calls Putin's nuclear threat a dangerous escalation. So that, the U.S. media is framing it as Putin is threatening Ukraine in the West, but really it's, him reacting to stuff they're doing. Allegedly. Don't cut us off.
Sounds like you're a
Russian apologist.
That's what I was about to say.
Well, you know who is an apologist? President Biden. President Biden pledges $2.9 billion in food security aid amid Ukraine war.
Jackson, are we gonna have a food security aid when shit hit the fan for us here?
Jackson ain't got water. I think he just got
Flint
water.
still ain't got no damn water.
Texas, there's places in Texas, New Jersey,
Alabama.
There's a lot of places.
Sewage.
Yeah, the sewage system. New York, there's polio in the waste system, and you sending money for food.
Once again,
yeah.
He's being a brethren to his people. We shouldn't expect for him to do anything.
He's trying to help big Israel. Liz Truss says she may follow Donald Trump to move Britain's Israel embassy to Jerusalem. They ready. They want to build that third.
When they build that third temple, shit is done.
They want to build that third temple.
So go ahead and wrap it up for us.
And that's all, folks. The former U.S. president sparked controversy in 2018 when he decided to situate the U.S. embassy in a contested holy city. Britain is way for obviously the British country is the one who put forth the Balfour Declaration, which gave Palestine to the Jewish people. So they are very pro-Zionist in Britain. I mean, I listened to these clips when they were talking about the Brexit stuff, and the British people, the ones who aren't calling themselves Jewish, were very quick to accuse you of being anti-Semitic. So, yeah.
Anti-Semitic. Semitic don't even make no sense. It should be anti-Shemism, something, not no damn Semitic.
I tell them Travis at Lost in Seattle taught me everything I know. And you can catch him every Saturday on YouTube if you disagree with my bunny. We're not lost in Seattle no more, man. You give him the wrong name. We lost in the script, huh?
Who's that?
George.
Oh, what'd he say?
He said, I tell them Travis at Lost in Seattle taught me everything I know. You can catch him every Saturday on YouTube if you disagree with my bunny high lifestyle. So he's saying I bring you an audience. The Hub also in NCI's listens to and stated, y'all don't agree with on nothing, LOL, and he appreciates your show and diversity of thoughts. Oh, thank you very much.
Who is that?
I don't know. What you mean, Regina?
Oh.
What the hell is this? Okay.
You ain't involved in no illegal activity, are you?
No, I'm not a criminal.
What?
I'm not a criminal.
It's in your bloodline.
Go ahead and say it. I know you want to say it.
On your mother's.
Would you dare?
On your mother's side.
Your mother.
Your mother. Your mother.
New
Your baby father. Yeah, when they say your baby father,
your baby mother.
Your baby mother.
At New York, that's a funny. That
your
funny
baby
New York
father.
came up, and we talking like New Yorkers. Go tell your baby father. New York AG Letitia James files massive. Huh?
Letitia.
Yeah, Letitia James files massive fraud lawsuit against Trump, his business, and 3 eldest children. You know, Trump said she racist.
She is racist for going after that man because he's a white man.
Trump said she racist.
She's racist.
New York Attorney General Letitia James' office sued Trump, his children, his businesses. Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to further enrich himself and cheat the system. James is seeking to permanently bar the Trumps from conducting business in New York and pursuing a $250 million in penalties. New York Attorney General filed a sweeping civil suit Wednesday against former President Donald Trump, his business, and his 3 other children. James is seeking to permanently bar the Trumps from conducting business in New York and pursuing $250 million in penalties. The State Attorney General's office is also seeking the appointment of an independent monitor to oversee compliance, financial reporting, valuations, and disclosures to lenders and insurers and tax authorities at the Trump Organization. This has been something they've been talking about for like 4 years, though.
And I'm tired of talking about it.
That he was lying about how much money he was worth and he was getting through tax breaks and all that stuff. At the news conference, New York attorney said Trump falsely inflated his net worth and repeatedly and persistently manipulated the value of assets to induce banks to lend money to the Trump Organization. Isn't it when they saying he was dealing with the Switzerland bank and that came out to be false? Oh, he was inflating his money. He was getting money lended to him from what's that bank? Start with an S. It don't matter.
He was getting money leaked from him from where?
He was getting money lended to him
from a company that's
from a bank in Switzerland, or was that France? Either way, they're saying he was lying about his net worth so he can get money lended to him. So this is old.
Well, hell, everybody do that.
Yeah, this is old. So I'm wondering why they just now waiting. Oh, they waited.
It's called fake it until you make it.
They waited until they needed this, I guess. White House slams Texas and Florida governors for a cruel migrant transport stunt.
No, you tell me.
Hold on. Florida governor flies migrants to wealthy Martha's Vineyard. Texas governor transports dozens to Washington, D.C. The Republican governors are accused of using migrants as political pawns ahead of a midterm election in November. So the Martha's Vineyard immigrants, they have a lawyer.
How you get a lawyer and you not from this country? I mean, you can get a lawyer, but you're an immigrant. You shouldn't even be here. You're not legally supposed to be here. So how the hell you get a lawyer?
They are suing.
Suing for what? Emotional stress? Emotional?
Bruh.
Y'all ain't got a pot to piss in.
So the White House is now saying, oh, this is messed up what y'all doing. But I'm like, wait, the White House admitted that they are flying migrants in at 12 o'clock at night on the planes throughout the country. Eye. They admitted this. But what's the difference between the Texas and Florida people doing it? So they're not going where you want them to go?
Yeah, and they're not Democrats, they're Republicans. They're saying we're doing it because we're trying to help them. You guys are being malicious and just dropping them off anywhere trying to get back at the Democratic Party. That's what they're doing.
Or they've been telling you we don't want these people in our state, So you're gonna let them in, so we're gonna send them to your state. I don't know.
To see what they can sue about.
Ghislaine Maxwell is fired by lawyers representing her in bid to squeeze money out of Jeffrey Epstein's estate, and yet another blow to the sex trafficker after her criminal defense team sued her.
Your criminal defense team sued you? How your criminal defense team sue you?
The courts. I could never be a lawyer because it's like
you tell lies. You could definitely be a lawyer. So let's not sit here and pretend like you can't be no lawyer. Talking about, I can never be a lawyer. Yeah, you tell a couple.
I don't lie.
What do you do?
What do you mean? What I do? I don't lie. That's what I do.
You lying right now. You said you don't tell lies.
I don't tell lies. Why are you looking at me like I'm just? It's blasphemous for me to say that. When I lie, give me one.
You
time.
just lied when you said you don't tell lies.
What? I'm not saying I never lie. That's not what I said. Look, man. Court documents filed in U.S.
What's the difference between saying I never lie and I don't tell lies?
Well, you saying I don't do it flippantly. I don't just, lie just a lie. I might joke around and just...
Oh, joking around. That's lying. When you joke around, that's lying just to be lying. You're joking around.
You're joking. It's not serious. It's a white lie, not a black one.
I think I proved the point.
Isn't that what they call it? A white lie? It's not a black lie. It's a white one.
Tell a little white lie.
Yeah, it's a little white one. I don't tell
there
black
you go,
one.
Using what they do. Black lie, dark, malicious, hurtful.
She now has 60 days to find new attorneys, but it's unclear where she will find the funds to pay them. Well, I thought he was a billionaire. She don't have access to his estate?
Why would she have access to his estate when he's in Israel using his damn estate?
Huh?
He's in Israel. He need his damn money. Why would he give it to her?
Dead.
He ain't shit. He dead as a damn...
Dead as a doornail, ain't he?
Shit.
Now you're saying the man ain't dead. All right, hold on. All right. Final segment here. How long we hold y'all up? It's only been 2 hours. See, we're going quicker. Ain't lag as much this time, but I'm gonna have to do something about that. Fauci admits he knew his draconian lockdowns would have collateral negative consequences on school children. The term draconian is pretty much leaked straight to the Nazis, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
The Nazis had draconian laws.
Greek.
So during the pandemic, Fauci is admitting that he had draconian. All right, we're gonna leave that alone. Because if I say it,
no, go ahead and say it.
No.
Get us a strike, dude. Go ahead and say it.
Say it.
Say it, mother. Come on, mother. Say it.
Well, your ad. Got something for your ad.
Come on. Get us this strike.
Oh, we good now. Y'all, we made it. What was it, September 3rd?
It was the 3rd of September.
The day I always remember. But yeah, we only have one.
Don't put bad luck on you.
We only got one strike now. So we got one.
You got to go to December, right?
Yeah, the next one we got to make it till November, I think. And we'll have no strike.
YouTube let us make it to November? Do you feel lucky? Punk. They said, huh? Do you feel lucky?
I think we good. Sometimes when you do draconian things, it has collateral negative consequences, Fauci said about COVID pandemic policies. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Dr. Anthony Fauci admitted Wednesday that he knew the draconian COVID-19 policies he pushed for would lead to collateral negative consequences for the economy and school children. Well, they said that because kids' first way of learning to speak properly is to see your mouth moving.
No, I came out of the womb talking.
Yeah, okay. You must have came out with teeth too. So,
well, we do know there is a cousin that came out with teeth.
Yeah, some crazy.
And we call them 1,000 teeth.
1,000-pound teeth and 1,000 teeth. But listen, because people's mouths were covered, the children couldn't see how they pronounced the words properly, and because they had their mouth closed, stuff like that. So they say it affected children's speech. So there's a generation, not a whole generation, but there's gonna be kids growing up that's gonna have a speech problem throughout their childhood. They got to take time to develop that as they get older.
They're not gonna be stuttering, are they?
I don't know about stuttering, but they might not, have other problems. Fauci comments came during the day of the Atlantic Festival, the 3-day convention put on by the media outlet The Atlantic, featuring speeches and interviews from.
Of course, when you make recommendations,
okay,
if the primary goal when you're dealing with a situation where the hospitals were being overrun.
guess we won't play this. Now, it played on his own. And now I don't want to play. Okay, moving on.
The internet has a mind of its own.
I wasn't going to play it because of how it's lagging, but then it started playing on its own, and then it don't want to work. Okay.
Well, that's how the cookie crumble.
Yeah, now Biden made some... Biden came out and made a comment that shook up the medical world, didn't it?
The pandemic is over?
Yeah, Biden came out and said the pandemic is over. His COVID team says it's more complicated. Now, this is the second time Biden has called the pandemic over. He did it for 4th of July.
What happened when Trump just nearly said that it's not as bad as it seems?
And then they came down and said, oh, he's going against his medical team. He's not going based off the professionals. He's not being responsible.
He doesn't follow the science.
There you go. He's not being responsible. But Biden can say twice. He said it was over July 4th. Now he's saying it's over now. The pandemic is over. That's what he said. Twice. And y'all just, he's just jumping the gun a little bit. You know
what we wish was over? Your presidency. That's what we wish was over. We tired of looking at your old crippled ass.
I'm done predicting when he getting up out of there because he just won't go nowhere.
But
we don't know what's going to happen in 2024. Biden says it remains to be seen if he will run for a second term in 2024.
We don't see it either.
You said another comment.
What?
We don't know if he's gonna be alive in 2024.
He don't know if his ass gonna be. Yeah.
President Joe Biden said it remains to be seen whether he will run for re-election in 2024. The latest indication that the 79-year-old president will step aside after his first term in office.
What did his first press house secretary say? What was her name? Polinsky?
Yeah, Psaki.
She said he's going to run again.
Yeah, then she said she's not going nowhere, and then she left.
And what did the Haitian one? What's her name? Perry?
She said he's going to run.
She said he's going to run again.
He gave every indication that he's going to run. Now, the thing about this is, it's already changed. He went from saying a few months ago, I'm running, to now,
he don't know.
It remains to be seen, which means they've got the data, and it's like, you're not running. But what are they going to do with Kamala? They can't run her.
Well, that's why she's been laying low.
So who is he stepping aside for? Her or somebody else? We don't went through all the candidates possible.
Speculations.
Huh?
We said Keisha Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy out of South Carolina. What's his name? I know you don't forgot his name. You don't forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
I forgot his name
the
too.
Republican?
That let you know.
The black Republican? He's the only prominent black Republican, so. Then you got Michelle Obama. I'm just sending a note. Don't worry.
Every time I hear her name, I think of Lou Rawls.
Look, my intention, as he said to begin with, is that I will run again, but it's just my intention. But is it a firm decision that I will run again? That remains to be seen, Biden said. He ain't running. What he's saying. Don't worry. I'm not running.
Don't worry.
Okay, what is this? I don't know what this video is. I'm scared. What did I put here? Oh.
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank
the man got lost on stage.
He lost in general.
And the dude had a cover for him by talking because he looked crazy standing there. Regina said the media determines when they're gods, Biden, and when they're devils, Trump, for the followers. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier with the FBI having their account. The military Pentagon having accounts, which means the CIA.
In New York,
FBI.
Intensive care units were being put in hallways. You have to do something that's rather.
Okay, then they decided to play again. Okay, but yeah, how they control our viewpoint about these people is what I was saying. Same thing with foreign conflicts, huh?
Propaganda.
Yeah, it's all propaganda. They can make you hate somebody or love them. Good point, Duke on point. While well received. Maybe he was Freemason. I stand corrected. Thanks. That wasn't me. That was Travis.
Who said that?
George.
Oh, George just being ignorant.
That was Travis that said he might have been a Freemason. I just got back.
Well, hold on. I didn't say he was no Freemason. I said he definitely ain't no boule. If you're gonna put him in a category, put him under Freemason. But me personally, Pastor Darby wasn't no damn Freemason.
No, I don't think so either. Tony Spencer just got back. Someone from Roland Martin got me suspended. Boy,
who?
So Tony Spencer said just got back. Someone from Roland Martin got me suspended.
You can get suspended off of YouTube.
You are. You can't comment.
Oh.
Well, you're not suspended. You shadow banned.
Oh yeah. Oh well, if we gave him a ranch, he'd be able to comment still on this. I'm
gonna try that
channel.
Hold on, let me do something right quick.
I don't even know why YouTube treat me so harshly.
Yeah, Travis shadow banned. If he try to comment on YouTube,
yeah, YouTube. I don't know. You know,
it just don't come up.
That's what they do. I don't really give a damn.
Oh, it's not.
Must have been that Black News channel that got me
Travis
blacklisted.
Travis trying to go back and forth with somebody, one of the women who went on the show. Black News
she decided to respond to the comment.
You said something first.
Well, she could have ignored it.
Oh, now it's her job to ignore you.
It is her. It's her job to be the bigger person. Don't be petty like I am. Just go on about your day.
So you can
enjoy
be petty,
life.
but she can't.
Huh?
You can be petty, but she can't.
She don't get to be petty when I'm telling the truth.
Okay. All right, you should be able to comment. I don't know if it'll be permanent, Tony, but with us, you can comment at any time because I just gave you a wrench. That should break through and let you comment. It did work for you.
Well, they're going to start noticing that people are doing that and they're going to have to figure something else out.
Oh, they're going to just make it where they take it away from you or something. But Travis, where the research at, fool?
What research?
I don't know.
Now hold on. When you said no, that was Travis that said that.
Yeah, hold on. So now you gonna check.
Said where the research at? I get my same research from the sources you get your research from. Your source is from George. That's the research.
George been an asshole. New York City Mayor Adams ends COVID vaccine mandates for private sector student athletes, but city workers rule stays.
Huh?
New York mayor ends COVID vaccine mandates for private sector student athletes, but city worker rule stays.
Oh. And then, George, why you hating on Pastor Darby?
I don't know. George,
he wanted to. You know what? There's some people online. Sorry to go back.
Go.
They called him They called his church a witch cult.
Yeah.
Because they have such strong religious beliefs.
Yeah.
When you come into Pastor Darby's church, you just don't get to walk in there and do what you want to do. He said,
"That's order.
This is order." Meaning, when you come to that church, he expects for you to find a wife or a husband.
Yeah. And he don't interview people by themselves.
His wife is there.
Yeah. Women or men.
Actually, he prefers to give the man information and then they take it back to their wife.
Yeah.
But if he does do the counseling, his wife is always present. That's why she sits behind him.
He's passed away, so yeah. But yeah, the city's coronavirus vaccine mandates for private sector workers and student athletes are ending, but the inoculation requirement for municipal workers will remain, at least for the time being. Mayor Adams announced the rollback Tuesday in City Hall press conference, stressing the need for New Yorkers to get the COVID booster shots. Implemented by former Mayor Bill de Blasio, the private sector and student mandates will have been in effect since late last year. Yada, yada, yada. So why is he only doing it for, why do they keep acting like they just get rid of it?
Get rid of what?
The whole mandate. Why you still got it for city workers but not student athletes?
Because they don't plan. They plan. It's something coming.
So they're keeping it on the books.
They keeping you on edge.
So that when they bring it all the way back, you'll be like, well, it never really went away.
It never went away.
Yeah. Like didn't they have the color system, the coded system where it was level 1, 2, 3? And
that been gone. I remember when it was phase 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
They got rid of phase 4.
And it was just 3.
And I said, phase 4 is
open, completely open.
The pandemic is over.
Yeah. And they got rid of it. I'm just talking personally for the state of Washington. Yeah.
So they never really expect for it to be fully over.
Ever.
So this is just to keep you in a state of guessing.
Yeah.
Which most people don't move on with their damn life.
Yeah, it's the same thing on YouTube with the policies. They make everything, blurry. They don't give you defined rules. They just kind of sort of tell you what it is.
A restaurant shamed my big boobs and made me cover up
with with a lost and found scar.
George would have loved to been there.
George, that's your type, ain't it?
Well, she
Joy
look
like
a little stronger.
Joy like bodybuilders. Mayor Adams says migrants could be housed on cruise ships. So whose ships? Who's gonna own the ship? Is it owned by the city or?
It's the pirates.
It is still a whole bunch of ships from Russia.
Exactly.
So,
they were still in the Russian ships for the
Russian citizens, should I say?
migrants.
She was 12. I was 30. Biden leaves viewers stunned in teacher speech.
He told everything.
Yeah, President Biden shocked viewers.
That's that's a good name of a book.
She was 30. She was 12. I was 30. That's a crazy name. Like
when I say a good name of a book, that would let you know everything.
Yeah,
that's
you know
gonna be in that damn
everything
book.
go on. Friday's speech to teachers when he recognized the audience member and told the crowd she was 12, I was 30. But Biden lit social media with a confounding and seemingly inappropriate aside. He did not say what he did when he was 30 and the woman was a preteen. You got to say hi to me, Biden said mid-speech at the National Education Association headquarters in D.C. We go way back. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30. But anyway, this woman helped me get awful lot done. That was just a crazy comment. He be saying some stuff, and we got to just like, that's just Joe. That's
just Creepy Joe.
That's just Uncle Joe.
No, he ain't no Uncle Joe. That's Creepy Joe.
Montana to allow transgender people to change birth record.
So that defeats the whole purpose when you meet somebody and you ask the
because people make that joke when this stuff started really growing. Like, hey man, you're gonna start asking people for their birth certificate. Well, in Montana, that don't mean nothing.
Did y'all see the story of the maintenance, the tech teacher in Canada that is a tranny that's walking around with big ass prosthetic breasts on his damn chest? That is crazy. I was in auto mechanics in construction classes. I think wood shop. They call it wood shop. If our teacher, Mr. Yarborough, would have came in the classroom with some big fake ass breast on his chest, it would have been hilarious. The kids would have been torturing him. They would, first of all, they would have popped them shits.
Oh yeah.
First of all, if they can deflate.
I don't know. I think they were a bodysuit. It wasn't actual implants. I think it was a bodysuit.
That is, how is that not seen as unprofessional?
I'm trying to get the picture.
If a teacher, if a teacher came in, a woman, and her breast was actually that big, that would be distracting.
It was some old ladies. It was some old ladies that's teaching that got some.
I ain't seen nothing like that in school. I don't know what you saw, but I ain't seen nothing like that in school.
Hold on, let me just. I want to show this to y'all. Let me. I just want to show the picture. The way they described it too was hilarious. She said,
you actually had
these massive.
They are massive.
Hold on. Come on, thing. Just load one more thing. This is the last thing. I promise you.
It said I done gave y'all a good.
I gave y'all a good. All right, come on. I can show you the article, but for some reason the picture don't want to load.
There you go. It was loading. There he go. Look at that shit.
Here it go.
That's ridiculous.
A school protecting a teacher's right to wear massive XXX rated fake boobs in class isn't about trans rights. It's final proof we are paralyzed by insane political correctness. Look at this shit. Dude laughing.
And you got to walk around in woodshop classes and be like, our teacher, Mr.
Stanley,
has giant body suit on.
And he just walking around like everything normal. This is crazy.
What? He should have got caught up in that.
Look at this. I don't even know if I can show this on YouTube.
Oh, that's his social media platform. There goes Snow Bunny for you.
Oh shit!
There goes Snow Bunny.
Georgia got one for you. Oh shit, that's crazy. Did y'all see that? Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Yeah, okay.
Like.
FDA warning: NyQuil marinated chicken is disgusting and dangerous.
Niggas marinating chicken in NyQuil. That's
anything but seasoning.
That's the missing spice in the fried chicken. The NyQuil, 7 spices.
On TikTok, this is the last story. On TikTok, people were marinating chicken in NyQuil.
Were they eating it?
Yes. And they're telling them it's dangerous. And you go, we're in the era now, and this is the negative part of social media. It's necessary, but it's also to a detriment. Where they have to tell people, hey, don't marinate chicken in a medicine.
I ain't telling them shit.
The fact that they have to come out and say this.
You can read.
It's crazy.
The warning labels.
I wondered, is it meant to get them high? Are they trying to lean the chicken? Damn. Is everything about getting high?
Everything's about numbing.
Look at that. Who would eat that?
It's green? Yeah. Oh, they used
NyQuil.
The NyQuil.
Look at that. And
the celebrities,
I just started eating chicken. I don't know.
I thank God they didn't put any black people up there eating chicken. A particular one with a athlete who had a chicken tied on his damn helmet, eating chicken.
Jerry Rice.
We'll never forget that.
That was the most embarrassing.
That's a coon.
That's the most embarrassing thing he did in his career.
That's a coon.
He wore a chicken helmet. Was it Bojangles or KFC?
I thought it was Popeyes.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Bojangles got some dry ass biscuits.
Niggas was roasting them. So I guess what they're saying is the celebrities who were doing it were using a certain dosage. They weren't using as much. But people across social media, obviously, they started marinating it dousing it in NyQuil. It's crazy, man. But anyway, man.
It probably had a little sweetness and tang.
Yeah, somebody was asking the question, what does it taste like? But yeah, Travis lying again.
George lying again.
That's crazy. They always over-exaggerate the woman's body. Well, see, that's the thing.
That's how you know when it's a damn
There you go.
tranny.
This is why when we talk about these Montana making it where they can change the birth certificate, it don't matter. You know, because a woman, she's gonna be way more modest than a man trying to be a woman.
Like like yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I think you said
Thursday.
a couple days ago. Yeah.
No, it was yesterday morning.
Oh, okay.
I was at the Mount Baker Link Light Rail Station, and it was a quote unquote woman prostitute walking around with her ass out with a blonde wig on, and I said, "That's a man."
Exactly.
And unfortunately, it was a black man.
Sad.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. Regina says, "Strong in guys, peace and blessings." Thank you for staying as long as you did. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Anything else you want to say? Last comments?
Thanks for viewing the channel.
You do that every damn time. Anyway, man, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Yeah, man, we kept y'all long enough. 3 hours.
Was that Regina way of saying she out?
Yeah, Regina said, I'm out.
She ready to go take that nap?
Mr. Baker, hey, you were near where we live. Hey, Travis.
Who? I was where?
Mount Baker, yeah. Mount Baker. You were near where we live. Hey,
oh,
Travis.
hell.
Oh, Lord. Y'all gonna run into each other at some point. But, yeah, man, hopefully y'all stay safe. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, Regina, be careful. It's trannies walking around on near Mount Baker.
Have some mace or something.
She
with
probably
you.
said, "Nigga, it's worse days that they walking around that area."
Have some mace or something. Regina might got that glizzy on. She might pop somebody. But anyway, man, y'all stay safe. All praise to the Most High, and peace, man.